Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hola.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, technical difficulties abound, but we're getting everything up and running real quick. Welcome back to Dinner and a Game. We're starting out in the traditional fashion by lighting everything on fire. Uh,
Woo!
celebrate flames, they keep you warm.
Arson.
It's always the answer.
Hashtag gentle arson.
Ladies
I don't know
and
about-
gentlemen, arson
I
is
don't know about
never
horror.
the answer. Don't listen to any of these people.
It is
Disclaimer,
in
disclaimer,
tabletop.
disclaimer.
No, it's the
In
it's the
real life,
resolution.
no. In games,
It's the resolution.
Yes.
In my I have my T-shirt that says, "I didn't ask how big the room is. I said I cast fireball."
yes. Arson. See?
That's
Yeah.
not arson technically. You don't know everything's going to catch on fire. Just your friends, and everything else in
Then
the
that's
room. though.
murder, which is arguably worse.
To be
And
fair,
that's why you
Ray,
need a cleric.
No,
It
that's
does
why you
say-
always play an evoker wizard so you can make all your friends pass their saving throws and then they take no damage.
That'll be half in that case.
No, it's part of the evoker. If they pass their saving throw, they take none, and you can force them to pass.
Oh.
And my evoker's favorite trick is to make everyone gather up around him, and he just drops a fireball at his feet.
It's even better when you can only eliminate, like, say, 4 people from the effect, and there's 5 of you, because then you get to decide which person's not special enough.
Who do you like more?
Wow.
Who do you
Or
like
tanky
more?
enough.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
look around the room and you're like, the barbarian can take this. How many hit points do you have left? Ooh.
You have resistance against fire. You went bear, right? Everyone goes bear. You didn't go bear. Oh, fuck.
I didn't go bear. I went Path of the Storm Herald, thank you.
I
But
was like, I
this is my ASMR that her lowest stat, I shit you not, is a 15. And so she doesn't rage because she's dumb. She rages because she's having an existential crisis.
An existential crisis.
Wow.
The reasons to rage are many, but existential crises just isn't one of them.
Although my barbarian in a game I play every other Saturday, I'm a wood elf zealot.
Ooh.
Zealot barbs are fun because we just hit level 10, so I'm literally gonna make my character shout, "I have the power of God and anime on my side."
Okay, no, you say that, but I have literally said that because in one of my games I have played in the past, I was playing a 4'8". No, she was 4'5". A 4'5" drow rogue cleric, and she's got a tattooed magic bastard sword that she can pull out from the tattoo and use.
Oh.
And this bastard swords are fucking huge. Again,
Yep.
she is like
Hand and
4'5",
half.
4'8".
Yep.
And she's like, literally, one of our players said she's got the power of God and anime on her
Anime
side
on her
now.
side.
And I'm like, God, I'm like, oh God, you're not wrong.
Side commercials, yes. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinner and a Game. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Friday, and as of this Friday, we are going to be starting up a new program. That is where we're going to be having a Friday stream, but it's going to alternate every other Friday. Now, right now, the only stream that's in production is this one, and this is our Firefly campaign. Now, this is a Firefly game that is based off of the last version made, and I think it was made by Mark Weiss and Hickman Productions, and it was using the Cortex rules system. Now, the cool thing about Cortex rules is that they're a universal system. So what that means is they're designed to be used for just about any style of game you want, so you can still create this Firefly game using Cortex Prime. However, the actual game itself is no longer published because Weiss and Hickman Productions lost the rights to Firefly. So, and I haven't heard anything about another RPG being developed, but Disney is developing another TV series, so who knows what can... What? You didn't know?
Noni?
You didn't know?
No!
Yeah, they're developing another TV show. It's
Different cast.
different
Just
cast,
same
and
universe.
I think a decade after Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense because it's kind of hard to do the same cast since Ron Glass, passed.
Yeah,
which
Ron
I miss
Glass
him. He was
passed,
awesome.
and basically, I don't know if anyone has the time to do TV. Most of them are either in full-time TV productions or doing movies and stuff like that. So,
Oh, Nathan Fillion would find the time.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I feel like what's her name? One that played Kaylee.
yeah,
Oh yeah, she definitely would.
yep.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be having our first session of our Firefly campaign. And we're going to do it a little bit differently because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a small vignette, which is basically a preamble. And we're going to be playing these characters during the first time they're all going to officially, in the campaign, meet each other. And that meeting is going to be taking place at a very special, wonderful, magical place. A place that just exudes warmth, love, and fellowship. They're going to be meeting at the center of the fight for Serenity Valley during the Alliance main attack that broke the Browncoats' back. So, it's going to be fine. Everyone's going to be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. No trauma here.
No
None.
trauma.
None.
No,
I'm
none
not
at
about
all.
to be fucking traumatized beyond belief. No.
We're all
And
we're all
I'm the one
shiny.
that I would allow it because
Now-
I've written into her backstory.
Yeah, here's another thing. Everyone here wrote backstories and everything like that, and a lot of you guys actually started bringing in the battle into your backstories already. So it's going to be interesting because we're going to be running right off of the stuff they wrote, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be running straight from my players' backstories they created. So just let me put some context out there. Lissa, you're very mean to yourself. Stop it.
I play rogues and College of Whispers bards, Ray.
So basically, all your family is dead. Tragically.
Not always. Not always. Actually, the rogue I play on Mondays, her parents are alive, but they're on a different plane. And same for my bard I play on Tuesdays. So
It's
there's
fine.
trauma from only the bard is actually traumatized. The rogue is not.
Yet.
Yet.
Everyone can just ignore me having to gather dice because I am ill prepared.
Oh, don't worry about it. You can always use
I
roll
was doing
20.
the same thing.
Well,
I was doing the same thing.
I found
Oh,
all
I
of my.
should
Well,
Yeah. Also, I just always have dice next to my dice.
Yeah, Roll 20 and I are having a disagreement on the fact that I don't know my password
Hey,
anymore.
Crit Walker.
I am
Well,
not
you don't,
using-
and like I said, you don't have to use roll 20 at all. The main thing I'm using roll 20 for is the jukebox for ambiance, and I'm going to be rolling my dice in roll 20 because it's easier than me trying to find dice and throw them out here. So,
And it makes it easier to see the stakes.
I don't make mistakes, sir.
No, see the stakes, like
Oh,
the stakes
see
of the roll.
stakes. I thought
Ray
you were
said
trying-
what he said.
I said what I said. I said what I said when I said what I said. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so what we're going to do this evening is, like I said, we're going to go through this little vignettes, and this probably is going to take anywhere from 2 to 3 sessions to get through. And then after that, we're going to be doing a jump forward to the actual timeline for the current campaign. All right? So let's go ahead and get this evening started out by saying hello to these amazing folks that have voluntarily agreed for this level of trauma. Now, I spent a long time before we got in the stream getting everyone's labels put up and everything like that. And the moment I hit live, Streamlabs decided to delete all of them but mine. So let's go around the clock and say hi to everyone, and they can let you know who they're going to be playing tonight. So let's start to my right on screen, which is Kel.
Alright, so I'm the Celtic Wyvern King. You can find me here on Twitch and TikTok under the same name. Twitch, I've got a schedule posted on my thing. I've got to try and stick to the schedule because of work. And then Twitch, I'm going to try and put out some more content, especially now, we got this game. I've spent a couple of videos showing my character who I'll be playing tonight. Mitchell, aka, or as he will be known in the coming episodes, Stephen Knight.
Thank you very much, Kel. And let's go around the corner. Jonathan. Jonathan is one of the original Daggers. He was with us back in 2018 when we started out as a podcast, and we were playing a bunch of different games, D&D, and I think we played 7C and Vampire 5th Ed. And but Jonathan is one of the original Daggers. He's one of the few people I know of wise enough to stay the fuck off social media. So, Jonathan, how are you doing?
It's been a long day, but I'm doing good now.
Good. And who are you going to be playing this evening?
I am playing Wyatt. He is a pilot. I don't know what else you want me to... he's gonna show up soon.
He's going to show up soon, somehow, magically.
That or he'll die in the first session before you guys see him, in which case I'll have to start all over again.
I doubt he's that bad of a pilot.
Yeah, it's not the bad piloting; it's the horrible situation he wrote
No.
himself
Ray
into.
told me how I'm gonna be like the situation I'm flying in when we start. So we'll just see what happens.
Whee!
Although I will say, if Ray pulls a leaf on the wind in episode 1, I am not making a character that has a concept. I am making a character that has stats that have a concept loosely built around them.
That's fair. Would that make the character a wash?
Oh.
Oh. I was trying not to say it. I was trying not to.
Oh, we went there.
Oh.
We kind of had to. It's Firefly. You got to make the joke somewhere.
No, just
You laugh or you
make jokes
cry.
the guy that's flying the ship when I'm like, you know what? Let's make this safe for most of the crew. Let's just turn the ship so that engineering's facing the attack.
Oh.
Let's just put
Oh,
some buffer between us and everything
betrayal.
else. All right.
I'm just helping you out.
At that point, you want to hit the shiny red button.
The shiny red button. All right, so let's keep on going around the circle and go directly below Jonathan, who is a Corey. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, excellent. And who are you going to be playing this evening?
I will be playing Clayton McCoy. As far as anyone knows, just a field doctor that got caught in the battle in Serenity Valley, trying to make his way out.
There's no mystery behind any of that, ladies and gentlemen. He is a simple man. He likes simple things, and there's no mystery here.
I'm just a simple man from Higgins Moon who hates the Alliance.
With a passion.
With a deep, burning passion.
So, and it's not burning because of anything he picked up on a bar somewhere.
No.
And Corey, where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
On the massive interwebs, you can find me on TikTok. I am building some other social media stuff, but currently just TikTok.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
At the Hipster Viking.
There you go. And
Yep.
we'll keep on moving around the squared circle here. Oz.
Hello, I'm Az. Normally, you can find me on the Figment Collective, which I'll be on right after this game, and you can catch me here now every other week. I'll be playing Natha Vesk. She's, from the Rim Plans. She joined the Alliance so she could see the core planet, and then got stationed on Hera.
For
her first mission.
First mission, right out training. Where are you going? Serenity Valley.
I thought I was going to be fixing transporters, and here we are fixing guns. So, all right then.
All right. So, and finally, we have Lissa. How are you doing, Lissa?
Hi, I'm doing well. So you can find me on all the places with buttons as Geek Girl Lissa. And tonight I am playing Mariana Redfield. I am a humble merchant who happens to be the captain. And my parents, I technically was born on Hera, but spent my entire life in a spaceship. So a little bit of a cosmopolitan upbringing in some ways, but she's about to be traumatized. She is about to be very traumatized.
I just like all the fear. I still haven't designed my stupid coffee mug that says these are the tears of my players. Oh yeah, my wife is just saying she watched how giddy I got after reading the backstories. Yep, it's gonna be fun, ladies and gentlemen. These people are absolute masochists, and they gave me so much ammunition that it's just gonna be like a firing range. So. The next thing I wanted to go over real fast, if we could, is if you guys don't know this, we actually have a sponsor for the channel. Geek Grind Coffee is an amazing, ethically sourced coffee company. The farms and ranches that they get coffee from are actually female owned. And the company itself is very, as you can tell by the name, geek themed. They have flavors that are based off of the Pathfinder game, some of the Pathfinder games and characters. They have flavors that are based off of Legend, not Legend, but Labyrinth the movie. They have just flavors that are just fantasy themed, like my favorite, Dwarven Dawn. And they are an amazing company, and if you order coffee through them, through that link in chat, we will get a small percentage of it. Right now, I think they're doing a 10% off sale, and they're constantly bringing out new flavors, and the coffee is an amazing quality and amazing product. So we would really hope that you guys go and shop through them, you will always see us drinking it because it's replaced regular coffee for us completely.
It is really good.
Yeah, the Jareth coffee is okay. It's good. I
Oh,
tried
I
that
meant
one
Geek
first.
Grind in general.
Huh?
I meant Geek Grind in general. I meant Geek Grind in general because I got the K-Cup multi-pack.
Oh no, Fox Rider in
done.
chat said
Yeah.
she wants a Jareth coffee. That one's like a mint chocolate coffee, and it's pretty
Yes,
good.
it is.
Yep.
Oh, see,
I was
damn it.
I was looking at them and I was like,
It's
mint
actually
chocolate is hit or miss for me.
it's actually pretty good. The first time I made it, I think I put just too much coffee in, and so it was very strong. But the next time I made it, it was much better. So, but all that being said, we also have some situations that we would love your help with. We have one of the members of our audience. She is having some severe trouble. They've had a lot of setbacks. They are in a safe place. They're okay. However, they need help getting back on their feet. And so we have put up their GoFundMe link in the chat, and in the GoFundMe it tells you their story and what happened to them. But if you can in any way, shape, or form help them out, please do. If you can't, you can share that link out somewhere and try and get them some help. That would be wonderful. They're working really hard to get on their feet. They're doing everything right, and like I said, for right now they're safe and they're fine. They have shelter, they have food and everything like that. They just need help to get established again on their own. So, also, if you have the ability to do so, we have a partner stream called PSK Studios, and they do mini painting. But one thing they also are very, very much involved with is the American Suicide Foundation, and they run a monthly auction where they get a mini from a mini producer, they paint it, and their paint jobs are stunning. They're amazing. But they paint the mini up, and then they auction the mini off, and all the proceeds from the auction go to the American Suicide Foundation. Now, if you can bid on a mini, number one, highly recommend it. His paint jobs are badass. But number two, if you can bid on a mini, only bid what you can afford. And if you get outbid, don't worry about it, because you have actually done a great service because you brought the final price up by bidding on it too. So, but like I said, don't bid anything you can't afford to pay. But at the same time, if you can bid for something for it, do, and every little bit helps out, and we want to make sure that we get him as much help as we can because it's a very, very good charity, and he does a lot of hard work to make that charity happen. So we wanted to share them out as much as possible. And we actually have another member of the family who I keep on forgetting to put the link in here for, but they have adopted a cat, but the cat has a lot of health issues. And so they're trying to get some help with the possible vet bills. I know they're considerable. And if you go to our Discord, you can find in the channel that says We Are One, you can find a link to their GoFundMe for that. And if you want to go to our Discord, you can find almost all of our shows are listed there. You'll see notifications for when shows go live, and plus you'll see our RP channels, which are actual channels that have canon roleplay happening in them in the Discord channels, and they're the channels for the shows if you want to make comments, ask questions, or anything like that. Those are all on our Discord as well. And plus we're just all weird there, so you'll all feel right at home. Also, in the meantime, to help keep you guys around, we're doing a couple of things. First off, if you follow us here, we're going to be giving away this set of books. This is the D&D core set. It's the player's guide, the player's handbook, the monstrous manual, and the DMG, plus that GM screen, and it comes in that black slipcase. Now, this is the limited edition set, which means that it does basically have the what's it called? I forget this every single time and I have to remember it. It's the foil stamped covers. So these covers are shiny, they're sparkly, and they don't look like the standard covers. So if you make this your main set of books you use when you go to the game store, you won't have to write your name in black Sharpie on the edge of the book to identify it. It'll look completely different than everyone else's. Now, this is going to be given away when you hit 1,000 followers here on Twitch, and right now we are sitting at 752. We got 2 more new followers right before the show started, and thank you guys very much for that. The other thing we wanted to bring up is that on Twitch, both 2 places, on TikTok and on our here, we're going to do another giveaway. Okay? Now, first off, if you follow us over on our TikTok channel, which you can find the link to in Discord. When we hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, we're going to be giving away this Wizard's Tower. It's about 11 inches tall, 9 inches wide, 4 stories. It breaks apart to separate levels, and the walls and the floors and everything, they break up to smaller individual parts that you can literally store in a high-top shoebox. Now, we're going to be giving this away when we hit 1,000 followers in TikTok, and we're at 918 as of right before the show. So we're creeping our way there. But when we hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, we're going to be giving this away. Also, tonight, randomly, we're going to be putting up raffle tickets. It's going to be a contest that's going to come up. You have to put a keyword into chat, and you'll get a raffle ticket. Subscribers get double tickets. Followers get 1 ticket. You do have to be a follower to get a ticket. Now, what happens with those is we're going to keep tabulating those throughout the month, and you can see the current tabulations in our Discord channel. Now, what happens with that is at the end of the month, we're going to make a drawing, and that drawing is going to be pulling 1 raffle ticket, and the person with that raffle ticket is going to be the winner, and they're also going to win one of these towers. I've got a whole nother one printed up. In fact, I'm printing up a 3rd one. This is the bottom layer to it. I put up the 3rd one because I want one. But yeah, we're going to be giving this tower away to 1 person at the end of the month, and we're going to continue doing these raffles every single month. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Speaking of, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa. Now you'll get doubles. But anyway, so yes, we're going to give that away when we get at the end of the month, and the more times you watch, the more tickets you get. If you're a subscriber, of course, you get double the amount of tickets. So, all that being said, that is enough of that. Everyone, thank you very much for coming in. Have a good night and goodbye.
All right, it's been a great time. I gotta go check the red cap now.
It's like, wait, no trauma? Yay!
But, no, I get a free Prime sub each month. I try to shuffle it around based on where I'm streaming at. So
That
That's
makes
fair.
sense.
I haven't used a Prime sub in a while.
I have been using my Prime sub for like almost 3 years on Critical Role.
Same.
Heck.
It's how I got started in watching this streaming stuff, and that led to this. So
Yeah, I mean, fair.
yeah, I mean they're kind of foundational in this industry, I guess you'd say. I mean, we don't make a living at this yet, folks, but hopefully someday. We don't know, but yet we're working on it. I mean, who doesn't want to live the dream, right? But in the meantime, let's go ahead and start getting into crossing the veil.
emotional damage.
Who should we start with? I think I'm going to go ahead and start with Kel. So, you are on the planet for obvious reasons.
Yep.
Would you like to give us a little rundown of where you are?
Yeah, so going off what we discussed during Set Zero, so right now my character is kind of on the back lines because my character is an Alliance soldier turned browncoat spy, as you guys will see soon. But his unit is mainly in the back, protecting the engineers who are building, the landing pads, get our supplies. He's kind of just in the back lines right now because he's been fighting since day 1, and so has most of his units.
So your character has. This is the only thing I need refreshing on. Were you implanted in by the Browncoats, or did you turn as the fighting went on?
As the fighting went on, because after the campaign of New Kashmir, when they were doing the grenades and the apples, he was like, "Okay, this ain't right."
And if for those of you who don't know, during the fighting in New Kashmir, it was much like the lines in World War I, where the Germans and the Americans were so close, the British were so close they could literally hear each other talking. And during lulls in the fighting, they'd start yelling insults back and forth. And after a while, it was rumored, this has never been officially proven, that on Christmas Eve one year, they literally all walked out of the trenches and had Christmas Eve together, both sides. But in this case, in this other battle, the Browncoat soldiers were low on supplies, and so the Alliance troopers started throwing apples over into their their bunkers, and the first browncoats who picked up an apple and bit into it, there was a small pressure mine in it.
Yeah,
So-
pretty much. There's nothing there above the rig cage.
Yep. And probably the guys around him were pretty much trashed as well. So,
Yeah.
because they were stuck in a foxhole. Kind of
Yeah.
contains the blast.
Yeah.
So you're in the back lines. The situation we're in right now, the Battle of Serenity Valley has been going on for roughly 2 to 3 days, depending on when you got down to the planet. The initial skirmishes were based around Alliance forays into what was known as a Browncoat stronghold. The Alliance had pretty much come down in overwhelming numbers, and they had set up perimeters and around the main cities, and they had routed most of the Browncoats out just simply due to the overwhelming numbers, and the Browncoats were trying to pick a better point to fight from. As the Browncoats were retreating, they got corralled into this valley, and the Browncoats were, for the most part, land-bound. The Alliance established air control very early, but the Browncoats did have a few air units as backup, and mainly they were using them to get supplies in and to guard those supply shipments. As the battle progressed on, it was, more and more of those ships were getting taken out because they had very little air defense. So supplies were getting short, they were running low on ammo, and the Alliance, rather than sending troops in constantly, was just shelling the hell out of the valley. Now, the biggest thing about this is the reason it's called Serenity Valley is because there's a town in the valley called Serenity. And that town was full of people who were the Alliance suspected of being Browncoat sympathizers. So the Alliance had no problem shelling these civilian encampments. The Browncoats did their best to get people out of the way, clear them out, getting them up into the highland rocks around the canyon walls and getting them into the cave systems there. But there were a lot of civilian casualties. The Browncoats, a lot of the Browncoats were more resolute to try and stay and fight to give these people time to try and get out. But as they tried to escape, the Alliance was using its air superiority to keep everyone contained in the valley. So anyone who tried to break out over land was getting either gunned down or getting captured. And so they basically were in a situation where the only real way to get people out was via air. So the Alliance was trying to build up for a massive retreat and fleeing and trying to get enough ships together to flee. So they had put out a call for anyone who could to come, who was an ally for the Alliance, to come in and help get them off planet. You're here and you're staying behind the lines not just because it's number one, you're a veteran unit, and the veteran units sometimes get sent to the front because they need them, and sometimes because their commanders are tired of getting sent to the front, they get put in duties that are not as meat grinderish. So you're sitting in the back, you're on supply detail, and you're trying to keep your wits about you, as you know that people are trapped down in that valley. And for the past 2 days, the Alliance has been lighting it up with artillery and air bombardments. And they've been the small town of Serenity is absolutely gone. There's not even a single building standing. And as the Browncoats fled into up into the hillsides along the valley, the Alliance has just been carpet bombing those hills. They've been shelling everything, the entire area, indiscriminately in blankets shellings, and they've been doing everything they can to try and break and demoralize the Browncoats. Shelling is not exactly the most effective thing against infantry, mainly because the infantry can take cover against it, but the air bombardments are incredibly effective, and the nature of the fight is so grisly and just horrific that this is meant to be something similar to the Battle of Pearl Harbor. This is meant to be a morally crushing defeat. They're not looking to take prisoners. They're not looking for a surrender. They're looking to absolutely break the Browncoats' will. So You know this. This has been sent down from high command multiple times. That the troops are not getting sent in as to do anything except mop up. So as you're sitting back there, and you know what's happening down below. You've been using whatever means you can to get information. You've been picking up coordinates for the next shelling segments, trying to help browncoats, the browncoats move and get out of the way of the major portions of the shelling, and try and get them to help them get civilians into better shelters and get them away from areas that are going to be highly impacted. Now, you were using what were you using to do this?
The way I described it was like it was like an encrypted communicator, but obviously didn't have the power on its own for like long range, like off-world type communication. Like same world, yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
But if they were off-world, then it would have to, like as we discussed, be piggybacked off another signal.
So you've been taking a shit ton of risks because because of your position with the engineering unit, you actually have a lot of critical information because your unit is back there guarding like literally the gun batteries that are being used to shell the planet. So you're sitting back there and you've been giving key information. Your commander comes up to you, the lieutenant comes up to you, and he actually comes up to your CO, and he's looking at him, and they're whispering together. They got their heads together and everything like that. And after a moment, the CO comes walking over, and he calls. You're one of the senior members of your squad. Just due to attrition, you're one of the senior members of your squad. And so he calls you and the other senior enlisted, and he comes, waves you both over, and he kind of gets you all together in a little huddle, and he says, "Word just came down from command. He says there is an intelligence leak within our unit. It says we need you to keep tabs on all the men. Put them on double duties only. It says no one goes anywhere alone. If one of them takes a piss, I want the other one holding their dick. You understand me?"
Yes, sir.
He says if this is in this unit, I want this rooted out now. And he says, "All right, dismissed." So, do you have, since you're been in this unit for a while, have you established or made any friends, or is it just like?
No, there was one. Let me actually pull up the backstory because I gave him a name, but I don't remember it, which is kind of sad on my own part there.
Well, you can just change it now and then change it in the backstory later.
And it'll take like 2 seconds to find it.
1,000, 2, 1,000. You're fired.
Okay, I guess I got rid of the name there. I think it was like Theo or something. Yeah, Theo Ford. That's what it was.
Theo. All right.
Yeah.
So, and let's. Is it okay if Theo is the other veteran member of the squad? It would make sense. So Theo kind of looks at you, and he says, he kind of looks at you and says, "Who the fuck would be that stupid?" He's like, even if they're using some little tight band communication box, he's like, just the fact that if we don't get the right numbers on casualties for these runs, we know someone's getting intel from somewhere. He's like, if they're not above just pulling people out and shooting them as public spectacle, man. He's like, this isn't your grandpappy's alliance. This is war. Serious shit. Do you have any idea who could have done this?
I can't think of anyone. Most of my unit's still green. Or most of my squad's still green, I mean.
Most of... He says, it's a meat grinder, man. They're always going to be green. He says, all right. I'm going to go get my squad together. And I'm going to give them the orders. He's like... I don't know how you're going to handle it with your squad. It says, but I'm not going to fucking sugarcoat shit. He's like, usually in this situation, if any of the boys know anything, they don't want to go down for this shit either. So they'll turn on them real quick.
That is true.
He kind of looks at you and he says, "Man, this is not gonna be good. They could take the whole unit down for this shit." He kind of shakes his head and he's like, "I fucking would hate to be the bunkmates with the asshole who did this shit."
Yeah, say kind of under the breath, and God, I hope I don't butcher this, even though I have the phonetic right here. Mitchell just goes, Jin Dao Mei. Just under his breath, like, damn my luck.
You mumble that under your breath? Out
Yeah.
loud. Okay.
Mumbled. It's under my breath. Under my breath.
Under my breath. Under my breath.
Yeah, no, because I even hear it out loud. Just be like, man, it sucks being the person who has to tell this to the unit.
Yeah. All right. So he kind of like looks at you and he kind of nods and he walks off. I'm assuming you're gonna go round up your men.
Yeah, I'm gonna round up my squad.
All right. So you round them up. Your squad's 12 men.
Okay.
You actually have a full squad because you guys got just got refreshed with the purples, which are the what they always call the new guys until they live long enough to earn a name.
Yeah.
So they come in and the squad comes around you. What do you say to them?
I'll say, pretty much sounds like not gonna sugarcoat it. We're all in the deep shit right now. Supposedly, there's a spy among us. Giving
They all kinda
intel.
look at each other and they look very stunned.
And right now, we gotta try and figure out who it is. So if any of y'all have any information, you better come forward. Because until we find this person, everyone is on double duties.
One of them looks at you, he's like, "The fuck's that mean, Sarge? Double duties? We're gonna do twice the work just because they suspect somebody? I mean, don't even get a fucking trial or nothing?"
No, what that means is, I don't care if you have to share the same bunk, you guys are going to pair up, and you're not going to leave each other's sights.
No. The same guy looks around, he says, "Okay, all right, that doesn't sound too crazy." He's like, and one of the other guys kind of looks around and he says, "So, Sarge, is there a fucking reward for this or something?"
How about the fact that we all don't get put out in public square?
I mean, that sounds nice and all, but if I'm still broke afterwards, what does it matter?
When I say put out in public square,
You
I mean a
nailed
bullet
down and
between the
shot
eyes.
in Puddle Square, yeah. All right, well, that guy kind of looks around and he says, "I don't really know many of these assholes, but if I see something, I'll say something." And like a couple of the guys are glaring at him, a couple of the guys are nodding. And they all look at you. You gonna tell them anything else?
Now I'm just going to tell them just dismissed and get back to work.
All right.
They would sell you out for one blue corn chip.
One blue corn chip.
Moldy blue corn chip.
Moldy blue corn chip. All right. Let's switch over. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. Let's jump over to Oz.
Hello.
Hello. So Oz, you are a purple belly, brand new, fresh out of training.
Yeah.
You actually managed to qualify for engineer training, and you got trained out as a field mechanic. You basically wanted to be able to join you joined the military because you were born out on the rim. And
like
you were
not
born...
even the rim, like the rim.
Yeah, yeah. You were born on the crusty brown edge of the underside of the outside of the rim, and so you actually grew up in incredibly hard situations, and you saw this as a chance to just get the fuck out. And when you got the chance, you tested well enough to qualify for engineering school, which meant the Alliance wanted you. And so you went and joined the Alliance, you went through training, you actually worked your ass off. Basic was rough. As you described yourself, kind of a skinny, lanky person, and so basic was kind of rough, but you just through grit, determination, and not wanting to go back.
I believe the term is spite and real food. Yeah.
Spite, yeah, right. Spite and protein, motherfuckers. But you managed to pull it out. You got into your training for your actual job, and that's where you excelled. You always had a strong mechanical aptitude, but when you actually received some actual training, that's when like everything kind of opened up, and you were just like, now I know why it does that. Before I just kind of like it made sense, but now it, and so you dove into it and you excelled. Your ability to adapt was what got you assigned to the field crews. You also managed to get multiple different jobs under your belt, from standard vehicle tech to weapons tech to everything else to several other items. So you did more than what you're supposed to do coming out of training, and that was mainly because you were given access to information about something you already loved. So whenever everyone else was like trying to call home or anything like that, you were fucking picking up field manuals from other classes and just reading them for fun.
Yeah.
So by the time you got out of there, you had a wealth of knowledge on all kinds of different mechanical operations. And so when school ended, your instructor came up to you and he says, they kind of looked at you and they were like, "You did amazingly well." And I am very proud to say that you are going to get a special assignment. It says you have outshone all the other classmates. You have really blown all the instructors away with your knowledge. It says, but we need someone like you to help back up our troops in the field. We need someone like you to provide them with the support they need when the situations are most dire. It says, so we're going to give you a promotion, and you're going to go join the strike force that's going to be headed down to planet basically right now.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. So is this Persephone getting all the transporters out and?
Pretty much, we're going to be sending you down right now. And you're going to be joining up with your unit. Hera is pretty much an active battlefield at this point. So you will be joining them on Hera.
Hera, sir? That's out and... Right, sir. Of course.
Yeah, no. You got to remember, we're fighting the Browncoats and we're trying to beat them back, and we're going to be we're taking them out any way we can. And going to Hera, we know that there is going to be a large group of Browncoat military movement through that area, and they're going to need all the support they can. So we need to know we can send some of the best and brightest that we have to support them there.
Of course, sir. Get this cleared up and should be done in no time, right?
It's like, you know how these things go.
I was like, we gotta hydrate, by the way, courtesy of Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, hydrates.
Courtesy of Sam. Like a little fucker.
Drink up.
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah, he does it because I usually give him hydrates in his games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Watching you, Sam.
Yeah. I just like how it's M.
Oh, it's M.
Oh,
M?
She has
It's
a score.
first
She has a score to settle with you, so
M,
we're fucked.
the betrayal. I'm gonna remember this next Friday.
That's my fault. That's
yeah,
my
no,
fault.
that's his fault completely. He's constantly trying to force her to drink. All right. So anyway, he says, "Look, you do your job. You do it well. He's like, I guarantee you people will notice and you will go up in the military. He's like, you can have a career doing this, but we all got to make sacrifices.
That's the plan, sir. So,
All right, you're a good
I'll get
kid.
to it.
You're a good kid. Go out and make us proud.
Of course, sir.
Well,
And within
point
20...
of clarification.
Uh-huh.
While we're playing, can we, if we've got the channel points, can we use them?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, they did that.
To aid
crap
ourselves?
on Wednesday.
Not yourself, only the other players.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yes, you can spend channel points to aid anyone else. And for folks who don't know, we have channel points. They're called dagger dollars. And you can actually use your dagger dollars to modify rolls, to change things up. What did I do? And you can actually do things like what Celtic was talking about the other night. One of our viewers actually used bits, because you can use bits to do it as well, but they gave all the enemies the effect of bless in our D&D game. You can also do things like you can give someone, an individual, the effects of bless. You can give someone, the highest one we have is called the Finger of God, I do believe. And that one is basically where you can make, where is it?
No, the highest is Devastator.
Devastator, not Finger of God, sorry. Devastator.
Yeah, because...
And that one's you make one PC or NPC attacks succeed and crit and do max damage for that crit. In a die pool system, you give successes equal to the entire dice pool. And then it's basically 5 uses per stream only. And it's 50,000 dagger dollars, but instead of using dagger dollars, you can actually use 5,000 bits. So, and there's a bunch of other things. Yeah, Scriptwalker, I'm sorry about the nameplates. We had a mechanical snafu, and they all got wiped out because we. All right, so speaking of, since you attracted my attention, Lissa. You're next.
Okay. Hi.
So, your parents, your grandparents were they actually retired, or were they still operating?
They passed away, and that's why her parents retired to take over the family ranch.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know if I wrote that down or not.
I thought it was the other way around. I'm sorry.
No, her grandparents passed away, and so they retired from being merchants so that Mariana could take over. And like they felt that she was old enough, she was trained enough by that point. She could safely take over the family business, and they take over the other family business that her grandparents had started.
Gotcha. So your family took, and that's kind of where the money from the shipping business your family runs. That's kind of where it goes to,
Yeah.
keeping the building out the ranch, building it out, kind of as it's everyone's retirement community and everyone's place to grow up. It's kind of
Yep.
a huge family ranch. It was a cattle ranch, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that ranch happens to be right in the middle of this fight.
Yep.
Your family is originally from Hera, and like you said, most of the kids, when they get old enough, they go work the ship. At some point or another. Not all of them stay, but you're one of those kids. Like your parents were, I don't remember which one you said was in command, but they were basically.
I didn't specify.
Yeah, they basically were the owners.
They kind
of the ship.
shared command.
Yeah, they were the owners of the ship, and when family was there, they were part of the crew, and they all learned different stations. That's the way they got their training. But if there wasn't enough family to fill all the spots, they'd hire other crew out. And so you grew up on that ship with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came time, there was no question that you were going to take over. When the war began in earnest, your family's ties with people who became some of the core of the Browncoats meant that they had a leaning, but their guild charter meant that they could not outright support the Browncoats. because they didn't want to lose their guild charter status and have to just, only be able to do runs into the rings and not be able to go into the Alliance core worlds. So they never directly supported any Alliance actions, and they would do everything they could to not make it apparent of where their own personal leanings lay. But they
were playing lawyer ball.
Yeah, but they were definitely willing to take some risks. Like, they would help smuggle people off-world who were being hunted by the Alliance. They would occasionally do, like, clandestine supply runs and stuff like that. So they definitely were allied with the Browncoats. They just weren't able to be as open as they wanted.
Yeah.
But when the battle started on Hera, you were out on a run. And the moment you heard about it, you turned the ship around and you were headed for home. During the trip back was when you had a certain conversation with your fiancé. Now, one of the things I was going to ask about your fiancé.
Odette?
Yeah. Were they like in the Alliance military or?
No, they were a companion.
That's right.
They were a companion that their particular guild encouraged to find a lifetime partner, so they also had someone that they could talk to because, everyone needs their own therapist.
And everyone needs support, period. So,
yes.
When things started heating up, you reached out to Odette via Wave. You reached out to them to basically tell them, I've got to go home. I've got to get my parents off planet. Odette, as you were on the comms, on the wave to them, Odette basically said, look, you don't have to go back. Just tell them to, make sure that they don't try and oppose the Alliance, and tell them to surrender as soon as any troops come in, and that they'll be taken to safety. I mean, the Alliance is not looking to slaughter anyone. They're just looking to, rout out the Browncoats.
Odette, have you heard of something called collateral damage?
Yes, I know, but I mean, your parents have been living out on those rim worlds for a long time, and I heard
word that Serenity got destroyed. The entire village.
I don't know anything about that. I haven't heard any. I mean, I'm not even really asking anything. The big thing for me is, your parents have been out there for a long time, and I've told you we can set up a ranch somewhere else in the core worlds, and they don't have to live out there on the edge like that, and they wouldn't have any problems if they just would have relocated. And now, all this is going to happen, and you're going to go into a firefight with a cargo ship?
I gotta get them out. I have got to get them out.
I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, what are you gonna do? Run an Alliance blockade?
I have my ways. We have our ways.
Okay, look. I didn't want to say anything, but you gotta understand something. I'm a companion. I have to be able to go back and forth. I have to be able to... The guild is Alliance aligned.
So is the Traders Guild.
Yeah, but...
I am just trying to get my family out of that situation. I am not helping anyone other than my family.
Do you know for sure that your family hasn't helped anyone?
Yes.
You understand you understand that I've heard things.
And because my family has been neutral aligned this entire town, and I'm part of the Traders Guild, they will let me evacuate my family. The Alliance, while they've got their problems, they're not immune to knowing that, what is the word? Refugees happen.
I don't... Look. I know I can't stop you. I know what you're going to do, what you want to do. But if this doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, I can't. I can't.
You do what you have to do. I'm going to do what I have to do.
I just don't... I think that maybe you let me make some calls or something.
I've already made the calls. I've pulled every favor that I have to in order to get my family off. They're going to let me through that blockade. And they'll let me out. I'm even going to let them search the ship. Before and after. I'm just there to get them out. My family owns the biggest cattle ranch on the fucking planet. They're not going to let that family stay in the line of fire.
I mean, you said it yourself. They leveled Serenity. I don't think this is a normal fight. And I don't think you should go.
I know it's not a normal fight. I already know that. That's why I have to get them out. Because otherwise, they're going to be hit. They're going to all be killed. I have to try.
I just don't know. Alright, I don't know. Look, I'm gonna make some calls. I'll see what I can find out. Just promise me, if anything gets bad, just promise me you're not gonna try and run, that you do the smart thing, that you'll surrender.
If there's an opportunity to surrender, we will. But if it's one of those moments where do or die, we're gonna do, not die.
I don't know. I was worried something like this would happen someday, but...
You know you can get Mom and Pa out of there. That farm has been my family's lifeblood for generations. Since we came from Earth that was. You know they're not leaving that behind.
There's only so much that we can do for our family. You know
Maybe.
that.
I know. But I have to try. I have to at least try to get them out of there.
I can't give up everything that I've worked to achieve.
And you shouldn't have to. I'm not telling you that you have to have anything to do with this.
We're fucking engaged. Anything
And
that
that's
happens
why I
to
want
you
you
is
to
gonna
do
come
what
back
you
on
have
me.
to do, Odette. Do what you need to do.
Fine. Be careful.
I will. Odette, I love you.
I love you too.
She clicks up the com.
All right. So, let's roll around the whipping ball of pain. And let's roll around over to, let's see. I'll save Jonathan for last because he wrote literally 30 pages of backstory.
Jesus Christ! I thought I wrote a lot.
Yeah, I would say mine was like
Jonathan
3.5.
has fucking
Mine was 6.
Jonathan's has fucking PowerPoints.
Hi, Esri. Would you like to
Power.
join?
It's not PowerPoints. It's. I mean, there's a family tree.
There's several
there's,
family
like-
trees.
No, there's one family tree, and then there's like 8 character maps.
Oh, I didn't even think about family tree. I might.
Gotta
do that
say,
now.
I didn't think about
purposefully-
family tree either.
I purposely did not. I had some stuff. I purposely kept it down to like 12 paragraphs.
No, Jonathan has an entire site in his Google Docs that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 entries in the main folder, and it has 2 subfolders, one with 3 folders in it.
No, that's not fair because
And
all of those
another
subfolders are. That's just character art.
And-
That's all just character art.
That's what a Pinterest is for.
You are an inspiration.
I
You are an
classify Pinterest
inspiration,
as
Jonathan.
social media, and so I do not use it.
Wow.
He hates social media, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
I mean,
fair.
I don't make it. I mean, I may go there to find things, but I'm not gonna like interact personally with it.
As someone who recently had to join Twitter, you made the right choice.
So, let's go with Corey. Dun, dun, dun. All right.
Okay.
So, your situation is
Precarious.
precarious. Give us a little synopsis of where you sit.
Well, currently, I would be on the Alliance side of the battlefield. Probably not on the front line, not in the back line, somewhere in the middle, being that I'm effectively a combat medic,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'm far overqualified for it.
Yep.
I feel like I'd be somewhere in that range. I've been on World since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I was sent in to kind of keep people alive for those they didn't just let burn up. But I was recently separated from my squad during the intensity just before like the last barrage of firebombing started somewhere within that place. Where you want to start with that is up to you, but that's where I would be.
So you're in the midlines for the actual the staging session. You've been sitting with these troops for 2 days, solid. They're basically hunkered down. They're keeping their heads low as the shelling barrage and the bombing runs have been lighting up the valley below them. It's the usual situation in a soldier's life on the line. This is complete and utter boredom, followed by brief moments of absolute terror when a shell goes goes off kilter and lands too close or hits a unit nearby, because not everything runs perfectly all the time. But they've been sitting around doing nothing and just watching what's going on below. Sometimes they're sitting there cheering as shells go off, and other times they're just like staring in like with this almost macabre sense of awe as they watch this valley literally getting almost like getting terraformed via explosives.
I would say since about halfway through day one, I've had 1,000-yard stare because I've been in this war the entire time, and this is a completely different scene than I've become accustomed to.
Yep.
I've probably disassociated for the bulk of this conflict.
Yeah, a lot of the conflicts involving the Browncoats and the Alliance, because of the Browncoats' poor supplies and usually poor organization. The Browncoats have stuck to small lightning strikes, guerrilla raids, small attacks, trying to attack, facilities that weren't heavily guarded. The first time that they actually tried to gather en masse to actually form up into stronger units and actually try and build out a structured army, this happened. Someone sold the information to the Alliance, and that's what brought this hell down. And ever since you've been here and been on planet, there has been a lot of talk about how there's not going to be another battle after this. About this is the fight. And that they're going to pull out all the stops and they're going to blow the Alliance back to the Stone Ages. They're done messing around. Everyone on this planet is considered a sympathizer for the most part. And you've been witness to pretty much war crimes. Alliance have captured civilians, and instead of taking them for interrogation, they have made them dig pits and shot them in them.
And that goes against every reason that I even began my journey that led me here. Despite being in the war for the entirety of the conflict, this is the first time I've seen this kind of stuff firsthand.
Yep. And so, yeah, and the big thing about it was also if any browncoat troops are captured, they are being interrogated, but they're, the methods, because you've actually attended some interrogations because you're there to keep them alive to answer questions. And they have been doing everything in their power to get as much information out of these people without really any regards to the Articles of War in any way, shape, or form. All the checks are off, and no one is playing fair anymore. So this has been something that in the entire time you've been in this fight, you've never seen done. The commanders who are in charge of this fight actually came from High Command. They're not the normal battlefield commanders that are there, and they're from a lot of the special forces sections who are running this fight, special ops, intelligence, stuff like that, and they're the ones actually calling the shots here. And so this has become something more than you've ever experienced. And just from an economic standpoint, they're spending a fuck ton of money on ordnance alone. Because the shelling, like I said, almost 3 full days of bombing runs and shelling, and bombing runs and shelling, and bombing runs and shelling. And there's, that whoever's down there, it's even if they're dug in, by this time, there's people who are just losing their minds just because of the constant chaos and terror they must be going through. And there's been no interruption. There's been no attempts to contact the enemy and ask for a surrender. Nothing.
There are definitely thoughts brewing and some calculations being made of just how effective trying to cut through the line might be for an individual.
So as you're sitting there and you're kind of like looking out, you're sitting on an old fuel canister and you're kind of just looking out. A guy comes walking up to you. He's like, "Hey, Doc."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh," he's holding his hand. He was like, "I was trying to unjam my auto rifle." This is, and I kind of like slipped the chain. I slipped the bolt again, and kind of just like that fucker's sharp, So I kind of like cut my hand open, and
so first and foremost, let me see the auto rifle.
And he like unslings it from his shoulder.
I check it, and I within about two quick movements get it fixed.
Yep.
That's how you do this. Now give me your fucking hand.
He's like, oh, yeah, sorry. He holds out his hand, and he's got the usual thing of the slip, the bar just cut his thumb open.
Yeah. I just reach into my little medical bag and I patch him up real quick. It's not a hard thing to do.
No. It's a deep enough cut to where it's troubling. It's like it's gonna give him some trouble trying to grip anything for a while. But
I numb him up enough to just keep him able to fight and at least save his own life.
Gotcha.
Probably some stitches.
Well, you with
not
the
out here.
I would say with the med kits you got now, it's basically super glue.
Oh, I'm down to about nothing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What I managed to scrape off other people. Yeah.
So he kind of like looks. He's looking. He's as you're patching up. He says, well, what you hear, Doc? You hear anything?
I'm getting about nothing, man. They are. As long as I've been in, I'm still not important enough to know shit. Apparently,
the boys have been talking a lot. They say that what the rumor in the scuttlebutt, he says, is we're going down tomorrow. The mop-up's starting.
So we're finally going to make a push instead of just bombarding these.
He says, if I was tactical, I'd be in command, sir. He says, what I know for sure is that we're boots on the ground in the AM. That's what I hear.
They aim to get these boots moving. Okay. Well, I might need to find some more supplies because kind of shake the bag, running a little low. It sounds like we're gonna need them.
Yeah, he says. Well, I can go hop the Sarge and see if he can get some requisition going on.
It's not necessary. There's enough supplies floating around that I can probably scrounge something up myself. No need to bother anybody else.
Like, well, you're our corpsman, Doc. It's not really a bother, I'd much rather you have it than not.
Understood. You can go see what you can get requisitioned. I'll see what I can find laying around.
All right. And he says, oh, and just wanted to let you know that the boys and I, we noticed, you kind of, we've seen the other corpsmen in other units. We noticed that you seem to be a little bit more on the book learning side than a lot of the boys.
Let's just say I never intended to be here, but I'm doing the best that I can for you boys.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that we understand what having a fella in the unit like you can mean to us, the schmoes walking in front of the bullets. And he says, so we all put in a little extra in the pot, and we picked you up something. And he like pulls his backpack around, and he pulls out like a reinforced flak jacket. And he's like, because if you're fucking dead, so are we.
That's fair enough. You've been around me long enough. I'm usually up there with you anyway, so I do very much appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead and swap that out. I'm actually gonna put it under my primary clothes.
Yeah.
Because the person wearing the flak jacket is going to get shot first.
Yeah, you guys all have your standard gear that's been issued, and this looks like it's something that was like ordered and sent in to them because it doesn't look like crappy military issue. It looks like something from private security or something like that.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely
yeah. So they're like, they basically recognize that you managed to sew people together you shouldn't be able to. And that means that they have a bigger chance of surviving if they just keep you alive. So morning comes, and you hear the Sarge rousing everyone up. And he's just like, come on, you purple slugs. This is it. It's time. We're moving down the hill. It says, I want you guys up, dressed, and ready to roll out for inspection in 20. He kind of the sergeant comes walking up to you, and he says, certain private came up and said that you were running low on fixins.
I surely am.
And he throws
I'll
down,
take whatever you can give me.
he throws down a complete med kit, a bag,
Oh.
medic's bag, and he says, never let it be said that we're gonna let you go down without enough thread to sew the holes up.
Well, I look at my the bag that I've carried since day one of being a field medic, and I quickly start transferring stuff over.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Sergeant. I do appreciate it. And hopefully I can keep these boys stitched up.
He kind of, as you're kneeling down, putting something, he kind of kneels down. He squats down beside you and puts a hand on the ground. He says, look, it's going to be, something's been going on. And from what our observers have been able to tell, there's still way too fucking many brown coats left. Whatever wherever they're doing down there, they may have tunnels, they may have some structure down there, but they have been out of sight, and they have been able to keep out of the shells. There's still a decent force down there.
So is that why we're moving in on foot? Because the shells weren't doing shit?
Well, the bombing probably was doing shit, and we leveled the town, so they got nowhere to go there. But up in those hills, we're gonna have to take high ground, and that means we're going to be taking a lot of casualties. So I'm going to need you to be 1,000%. He says, and I want you to take, oh, thank you very much for the follow. I am DM Doc. Nice name. Always burn it with fire. It always is. But anyway, he says, look, I want you to understand something. When the shit goes down, oh, thank you very much for the cheer. You are going to be one of the only resources I have to keep these men moving forward. If they do not know that you're going with us the entire time, there's going to have no reason to push. And all that's going to mean is they're going to hesitate when they shouldn't. So what I want you to do is I'm going to requisition you 2 men. They're going to be on a detail with you.
Okay.
And the only reason they're there, you can use them for pulling bodies, you can use them when you need to, but the only reason they're there, and I'm being straight honest with you, they're there to take bullets for you.
But where are these men? Just for him to point them out to me, kind of thing. See if I know who they are, or if there's someone I've yet to meet before.
He gives a whistle, and the guy whose hand you sewed up yesterday, he comes running up, and he's smiling ear to ear, and there's another guy with him, and he said the guy who sewed up yesterday, Private Johnson. he's smiling. He's like, "Hey, I drew a special detail. We get to hang out in the back with you."
Yeah, if we were on a camera, you'd see there's some definite cogs turning and a look of possible future regrets.
He says,
Glad to have you here, Johnson. Glad to have you.
He kind of looks at his hand. He's like, "Yeah, Sarge figured that, with a bum hand, I couldn't really be, doing much on the fighting, but I could still, hook a shoulder and pull a guy back to you."
Well, it sounds like we might need you to do just that.
Right. He's like, and plus, it's always nice not to have to be right in the front, right?
Oh, for sure. Been there a couple times. It's never fun.
And the other guy kind of is looking around. He says, I don't rightly know what we're going to be doing tomorrow other than marching around. So,
well, let's say it like this: when I point somewhere, you go that direction. If I tell you to pick something up, you pick it up. Easy enough, soldier?
That's right. Easy, yes, sir.
Okay. Where are you from?
I was born out on the rim, but my daddy, he said that I could join the service and that I would get 4 hots and a cot, 3 hots and a 3 hots and a cot.
Okay, son. We seem to be from similar backgrounds. I just seem like a good boy.
That's my daddy said, yes, sir.
Yep. I will do my best to keep both of you safe, and you keep me safe, and we'll make our way out of this fight.
He says, yes, sir. And the other guy, Johnson, looks over and slaps him on the back. By the way, that guy is like 6'8", and
So he's got
nothing but
4 or
beef.
5 inches on me.
He's like
Okay.
nothing but beef.
Oh, I want to clarify.
He's just a tall, lanky dude with no thoughts, just air.
I want to clarify. Clayton is not a small man. He's about 6'3" and built like a farm boy.
Yep. So this guy
But he's just smart.
yeah. This guy's like you, except
Just got like 5 inches on me.
yeah. And those 5 inches took away double that in IQ points, apparently.
Apparently so.
So close to 7-foot frame.
Look, his head was already in the clouds. Like, he's got clouds in there, too.
And actually, Foxfire just phrased it perfectly. A literal himbo.
Yep, pretty much.
Yes.
So
yes, exactly.
he is sitting there, and the guys are looking at you, and they're like, everyone's getting their gear together, getting ready to march down.
I'm getting my rifle on me.
As everyone gets their gear and the squad starts marching down, you see that there's just a mass of purple bellies marching down the hill. It's after a few hundred yards, it's no longer a hill, it's fucking rubble.
Yeah.
The shelling is just like torn the ground up. It's it's not easy going at all. And you get roughly about 2 miles from the original bivouac, and just out of nowhere the firefight starts. You don't even know where the first shots came from.
Yeah.
The guns are going off, blazing. There's explosions as apparently there are devices been put out. Some of your soldiers get hit by landmines. You're having your boys go and grab them and bring them back to you. You're setting up mobile triage. You're calling in the helivacs to pick up the wounded and everything like that. And for the next several hours, it is just a meat grinder from hell. Your squad has 24 men in it. Within the first 45 minutes, you're down to 18.
I expected less. Okay, 18.
The Alliance are well trained.
Yeah.
That's one of the main difference between the Browncoats and the Alliance. The Alliance are well trained and well maintained and have superior weapons. The biggest issue is, they're usually attacking home planets where people have knowledge and the time to prepare. So it gets pretty fucking bloody. And so, but you guys, they're basically, the attack stalls out at about 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And so then the shelling starts again.
Once that starts, Clayton would try to move forward a little bit closer to the front lines, try and see if anyone else can be helped.
Yep.
Because pulling people back is easy enough, but
yeah. And the shelling doesn't even start until it starts getting dark.
Yeah.
So it's also starting to happen right in that twilight time where it's really hard to make anything out. And so yeah, it's not even fun.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely staying low, moving forward, just kind of checking breath and then moving along because there's plenty that aren't. Yeah.
Now, Oz,
Mm-hmm.
you were with a engineering unit.
Yep.
You're an engineering field support unit. One thing that the Alliance have is money, and so instead of the troops, having to hump their own like rations, supplies, extra ammo, and everything like that, they have remote controlled or piloted robots that basically walk along with the troops carrying the majority of their gear.
Yeah.
If those robots were to be disabled, then their gear they have to either suddenly unsling their gear and take it themselves, or they have to abandon their gear as they're moving forward.
Yep.
So one of your main duties is to keep the robots moving.
Keep them dogs walking. Yep.
Yep. And so you basically are, you follow back with it. You went through basic, you know how to use your rifle, but your training, your basic was like 3 months. Your training was like 5 months. So you haven't really even touched a rifle in 5 months.
I know how to take it apart, know how to put it back together, know how to make sure it runs properly. Now, the aiming bit.
Yeah. So you basically are sitting there and you're like, you're walking with you're walking well behind the boys. You can see your squad moving up, and you see the battle engage, and you see you just see you don't even see where the browncoats fucking are. All you see is tracer rounds and shots coming out of the rubble around them, and your unit's getting lit up. They're going to ground. They're everything's getting organized, and before long, like within like 20 minutes, the unit commander's waving your little controls going off, and the unit commander's calling for resupply on ammo. So without even, it doesn't look to you for anything. It just starts walking down the hill. You know what I mean? You're kind of following it. You're keeping low. Bullets occasionally zing by you. And right as you're getting close to the where that the drop-off destination is, you start pulling like boxes of ammunition off the back of it, so you can set them down on the ground, so the guys who are probably running up the hill to get to you can grab them and take them down the hill. So just as you're pulling boxes of ammo off, you grab 2 boxes of ammo, you turn around, you set them down on the ground, and you look up as you see the smoke trail of a missile coming over a hill right down onto the dog. You have enough time to dive and roll.
Yep.
As the missile hits the dog, and you had a full supply. You had grenades, you had bullets, you had fuel, everything on that thing, and it blows up in a massively spectacular fashion. You can't see or hear for quite a while. And you're kind of laying there, and when you open your eyes and look around, there are men, or there are troopers around you that are like firing, and it takes you a couple of minutes. You're really confused, but as you're watching, you suddenly realize they're firing down at your unit's position. And they're not in purple uniforms.
Nope.
What are you gonna do?
So
you're like, you probably think they mistook you for dead.
Yep. So Nathan's gonna. Are there any people remaining, not alive, probably, that look like these individuals with their guns?
Oh, you mean are any bodies of soldiers?
Yeah, their bodies. Yeah.
Yes, there is several.
So Nathan's gonna take, and she's gonna kind of roll that way, noticing that definitely outnumbered, no longer have any ammo or anything.
Well, you have the ammo that's on you, but
yep.
I don't think you even have your rifle right now.
Nope. I have ammo. I have ammo in my toolkit.
You probably slung
Look,
the
I'm going to
rifle.
point out that if there's
Yeah.
dead bodies nearby, there's
Mhm.
probably guns that you can use
Yeah.
that said ammo in.
Yep, that's
I was
what we're
gonna say
looking for.
you probably slung
Yeah.
your rifle onto the dog, and,
Mhm.
and it got blown up with the dog.
Yeah. So seeing what the bodies have on them,
Yeah.
and if there's not a lot on the bodies, if any of them have any uniforms that look like these lovely individuals who are now shooting at all of us.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the first roll of the night.
All right.
Let me bring up a character sheet.
You got this, Az.
We'll see.
We'll see. We don't know yet.
I mean, I got points. I can always give Az a +1 or reroll if needed.
So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be rolling to see if you can beat the TN I'm going to set out. And I'm going to basically create a dice pool that's going to be based on some general stats for the unit that's around you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're straight D8s. So they have a D8 trait stat.
Okay.
Oops, that's wrong. So D8 for the stat. They're going to have a D6 for that. Oops.
Yeah, and then Nathan's also going to look where that missile came from.
From where the missile came from?
Mhm.
Well, you don't actually know how long it's been since that missile
Yeah.
came down.
Just making sure there's not another one on the way.
Oh, that's loud. Wow, that's loud. I turned on the action music and it got really loud.
Dun, dun, dun.
It just helps add to the importance of the scene.
So yeah, so 6. Now, do you remember how we build a dice pool?
It's your mental and then your. Oh, nope, don't select dice. Not yet. Calm down. Calm down. It's your attribute and then your skill, right?
It's the attribute, skill, any distinctions you may have that can be applied, and then any signature assets. Now, for those at home, attributes exactly what it sounds like. There's 3 attributes in this game: mental, physical, and social. Okay, and then there's a crap ton of skills, and then there is the things they call distinctions, which are usually things that are situational from your character's backstory that are actually give you bonuses and abilities. And then you also have what they call someone help me with the actual items. What are they called again?
It's your assets?
Assets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Assets.
Yeah.
They have assets, and you can put any number of those items into your dice pool. You only get to keep 2 dice. So what you're going to do is all those things have different ratings. Oz, what's your mental?
Mental's a 10.
Okay, and what skill are you going to try and use?
For this,
Yeah.
ooh, 'cause right now Nathan's trying to find a gun.
Wait. You're trying to find a gun?
Are you trying
Trying to find, yeah, trying to figure out a way out of the situation.
Are you
That's
trying
what
to-
she's doing right now?
Are you trying to
So-
sneak around?
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to you're trying to sneak around to find a gun.
Yeah, so it's sneak.
Alright.
So that's a.
What, Jonathan?
I hate trying to like jump over people to help them.
No worries.
You can sneak to find the gun if you want to,
Okay.
or option 2, you can spend the 1 plot point you started with, and you can just conjure a gun into it, and you'll have a D6 signature asset gun for the rest of this one scene.
All right. So spending the plot point just makes it up to a D6, right?
It just creates like that. Basically, like the plot point just will manifest it. You don't have to even try to roll. There's a gun right there next to you. You can grab.
I think I'm gonna do that. Just Nathan rolls
Thanks.
over, realizes that one of the pistols flew off in the explosion, grabs it.
Snatches up a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for the subscription to the Slytherin Wesley. Really appreciate it, and thank you. We're glad you were able to join us.
Goodbye, plot point. Goodbye.
Goodbye, plot point. Trust me, you'll get it back.
Yeah, there's literally ways to just compound your
Yeah.
plot points.
Yeah.
So you got that now, and you got your skill.
Mhm.
What are your distinctions?
Natha's distinctions are. She has applied physics and rush job. So
Wait,
that's
are those
true.
specialties or distinctions?
Those are distinctions.
Those are the distinctions that were on the sheet for mechanic or alliance engineer.
So
Oh,
here's
no. Okay, so the distinctions are the bigger tags, like Alliance Engineer. Like, there's 3 of them.
yeah, those are the specialties under the distinctions.
I'm gonna zoom in.
Zooming in.
Yeah, hers is engineer. That's her distinction. Unless I read the book wrong.
Hang on 1 second.
Which book did you grab it from? The core or the other
The
one?
core.
I'm getting into the
Yeah,
document.
and it's the when you have time to calculate the trajectory of your throw, you spend 1 point to double the throw.
Is that in a
rush
separate Is that in a subcategory of a bigger category?
Your distinctions are engineer, researcher, and technologist, if you took the default ones.
Yes, I took the engineer one. I thought I could
No.
only pick one.
No, you get all 3 of those, and you get to pick 2 boxes to check from all the different boxes that exist.
Ah, got it.
If you wanted to change one of those distinctions out, or if you want to change all the distinctions out, you could have changed any one or all of them out if you wanted to. But you get 3 distinctions, and you check 2 of the boxes for them.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
It was just like how we did
It's
the shit.
wrong. Oh
That's
no.
okay.
You're good. It's a new system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. Go ahead.
engineer, researcher, and what was the third one? I'm trying to pull up the book.
Engineer, researcher.
The 3 of them were engineer, researcher, and technologist.
Technologist. So, in that case, load.
Load. Engineer, researcher, and technologist. Out of those 3,
Yeah, I think tech or engineer would be the main ones.
yeah. So one of the things you can do with this also, and this you can do whether they apply or not, right, Jonathan? The D4.
Well, the D4 is if it would like cause a problem. So she could say, well, because I'm just an engineer and I'm not used to this type of a thing, I'm going to do a D4 and give myself a plot point. It'd probably be easier to explain why it's not helpful than why it is in this type of a situation. But anytime you can explain why the distinction is not helping you, you can use a D4 and get a plot point, but it's always at your discretion. So you can be like, oh, I have like a brown coat hero distinction, and so we're in the middle of an alliance bar, so I'm going to use that as a penalty to get the D4 because I'm not going to talk to them the way I would talk to other people because I don't like the alliance as a brown coat person.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay, so
So.
situation is there's a bunch of brown coats. I'm still in my alliance uniform.
Now you're covered in grime, and you
Covered in
probably
grime.
have some blood coming out of your ears and your nose. So
Yeah, just
you don't look in
completely
the best
messed up.
shape. So
Because,
they just assumed you had been killed by the blast.
Yeah, concussions ain't fun.
No, they're not. So yeah, So saying that like the gun was jammed would be a D4, right?
Well, no, you could just say like, well, I'm just an alliance engineer, so I'm not really used to these combat situations, so I'm
No.
going to take a D4 on that, and that
Yep.
gives you a plot point by doing that. And then
Yeah.
if you have anything for your signature assets, what do you have on those?
Well,
The
she just
signature-
conjured the gun. It is a D6 right now.
Oh, that's an asset. So now you have
Yeah.
that D6 as an asset for any situation coming up that you would
Yep.
need to use your pistol for,
Yep.
And your shoot skill.
and your shoot skill. Yes,
I'm
of
a shoot
course.
skill.
So what are you
Because she
going?
did go through basic, so
Yes.
she has that ability.
So what
But
we're
we've
gonna
never
do
had to
now-
actually kill anyone, and we really don't want to.
So what you're going to do now is you're going to take your mental plus your sneak,
Okay.
and you're going to you basically are going to try and roll that to see if you can get past these guys without drawing any intention. Are you doing anything else other than trying to sneak out of there?
Nope, Natha's a squishy little engineer. So mental and sneak, which would that bring if I'm doing this right, it would be the D10, and then it would bring sneak down to a D4, right?
No.
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 So you get your mental.
Okay.
You get your sneak. You're not going to be able to explain how one of these 3 distinctions is probably helping you right now. So your choice is either to just remove it from your dice pool completely and not use that,
Okay.
or you can make one of them a penalty to yourself and get a plot point and then roll a D4 in the die pool. The D4 is more likely to roll a 1, which would generate more plot points, but it would also generate complications. So
Got it.
if you don't want the D4 because you're like, it's going to be a low dice anyways, I'm too worried it'll roll a 1, I don't want a complication right now, you're better off with just the 2 dice. Or if you want the plot point badly, you can roll the D4 and just hope that you don't get a 1.
I'm rolling the D4 and hope I don't get a 1. So I rolled a 10 on the D10 and a 2 on the D4, which is a little more close to 1 than I'm worried about, but it's fine. We didn't roll a 1.
Gotcha.
And you get your sneak dice, so you get that one too.
My sneak dice is a 4. I read the wrong one.
Oh, well, you can roll another D4 if you want to take the plot point then.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Work with me, Dicebot. Work with me.
I'm having to roll the dice
That's
individually.
another 2! Yeah, same.
So you take the 2 highest dice and you add those together.
It's the same either way, so it's 12.
12.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you're trying to crawl away and sneak off, and yeah. See, Jonathan is just adding them up. Hey, how'd you get yours to
I know,
separate
but-
out like that? Oh, pluses.
Yeah, if
I
it'll show,
understand that.
you can still see the individual dice that way though.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that works.
I was just testing because I wanted to make sure that I could do it because I thought I could.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, perfect. I forgot about the pluses. All right, so Oz, you're kind of like you managed to snatch up the pistol. You're trying to belly crawl out of there. Just as you're like about to kind of like go crest over the side of the hill,
Yeah.
you hear someone go, "We got a live one!" You just put your hands up. All right, let's stop there. Jonathan,
Smart move.
Yeah.
your situation is, remember what we were talking about?
Yep. Are we starting with like the flight part?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So you are basically coming in. Well, first off, give us the rough description of where you're at.
Okay. So we are just now coming close to Hera. We have been flying for a little while, and we are about to get to a point where we could either orbit or enter the Atmo. And as we begin to approach the planet, there are some, little things popping all over the consoles. Paying attention to what's happening. Got to make sure flying the ship right. Some of them are more alertful to me than others, probably, because I care more about some things happening on my panel more than I do the other stuff. And I am beginning to read through my screen because there is one that has caught my attention.
All right. So you basically are tracking everything on your ship because you know you're about to go into a hot zone. Right as you're getting ready to decide whether this run is going to be, we're going to go ahead and hit go on the run. You see that there is a tight band communication sent from your ship down to planet side.
Yep, that's the alert I'm reading right now.
And you didn't send it.
No, I did not send it.
So, what are you doing? I mean, there's basically only 2 of you on this ship, right?
There's at least 3 of us.
Oh yeah, there's pilot, co-pilot, and navigator.
Well, pilot, co-pilot, and the general's on the ship.
Oh, forgot about him. Yes. So
I mean, I don't know who else crew-wise is on here other than the 3 of us, but definitely the 3 of us are on this vessel.
Yep. So the general is sitting behind you doing nothing. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I am going to act like I didn't see this alert come through because that message was not intended for my eyes. But I am going to go ahead and slide that over to a alert for the general so that he can read through that message as well. And then I'm going to look on the radar a little more carefully and start just kind of paying attention to what's going on. I can't move yet, so I'm not sure exactly what that encoded message is, but I'm a little antsy now that it's not a good sign, especially considering some of those key details that are just popping out as being like not normal for me.
Okay. So the basic situation with the encoded, you said you sent the encoded message over to the general?
Yeah, I'm just like the alert, like here's like this is what just came off the ship. It just, you know,
All right.
FYI, this just happened.
So, and does your message you saying over there, that indicates it came from you, right?
Oh, no, like I like it's got all the log information on it. I know which panel it came from. I'm just sending him like FYI.
Gotcha. So he's kind of like, you hear him clear his throat nervously, and he kind of says, "Are we? Where are we going to put down at, soldier?"
Is he addressing me or
Yep.
is he addressing the co-pilot?
You.
I am going to pull up the current schematics of what we got laid out, and I am going to pick a spot on the map that is pretty close to the border of the fight.
Okay.
I'm going to say somewhere near here, sir. I believe those were the orders we discussed in the debrief. Was that not correct?
As I believe you are correct, soldier. It says, I think, however, that we may be better served coming down in the back lines. This is from what I understand, the shelling is most heavy where the fighting is heaviest as well. It says, and there is need for someone to come down to take civilians off the battlefield.
I can plot us a new course. That's not a problem, sir.
He kind of nods. And he says, let's go ahead after we plot that course. Let's black out all communication. We don't want anyone to be able to ping us on the way down.
Understood, sir. I'm going to set a course and plot something out that looks pretty decent on a map. And I'm going to slide that over for my co-pilot to start getting ready to get us that direction.
Okay.
And then I'm going to black out comms like we were supposed to.
So your co-pilot kind of like takes your, he begins putting in the coordinates for the landing point. As he is putting in the coordinates, and you are trying to black out the comms, I need you to make me a roll.
A roll?
Yes, we're going to. You're going to be rolling to try and see if you notice a clandestine action.
All right. So you want this to be a mental plus notice check?
Yep.
All right. Well, I think I will. Seeing as how I know what he's supposed to be doing, he kind of tipped his hat a little bit here. I think I'm gonna feed into my my big plans. I am checking out what he's doing to make sure that I can stay one step ahead of this guy.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
I have an opportunity if you care to buy it.
An opportunity if I care to buy it.
You only have one plot point currently.
I know that's the rub there.
It does give you a D6 for the scenario, and you get to put a some kind of bonus on your roll.
I do realize that But it's I can do so many other things with those plot points though.
Yep. You don't have to
I
buy
just
it.
have the one. I'm not gonna buy the opportunity right
All
now.
I was gonna say you don't have to buy it. I'm just required to let you know. All right, so go ahead and make your roll. I've got your TN. I am setting it. It's set at a 12.
Well, this will be fun.
You
rolled pretty
fucking
well.
Good. Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, for the mechanic for the game, we create the dice pools. The GM creates the first dice pool and rolls it, and that's called setting the stakes. So what I do is I take my 2 highest dice, I add them together, and that's the target number for the player. Then the player builds their dice pool and they roll their dice, and their target is the number I rolled. But they can also do things like they can raise the stakes, which means if they beat my target number by 5, then they get special bonuses to the situation. So, yes, Jonathan, you can have another plot point. I will take the I will take the bad things.
I figured you would. This is such a great example. I keep my 2 best dice, and I got a 13, beats your 12,
Yep.
but I rolled a 1, and you got to buy my complication.
Yep. So that means for the rest of the scene, Jonathan is going to have a complication on his actions, which gives me an extra dice to roll against Jonathan. And if you ever get a single complication staged up to 5, because it starts out as staged up 5 times. It starts out as a D6, and then as it goes up, it goes to a D8, a D10, and a D12. If it ever goes beyond a D12, you are literally taken out of the scene. It's considered debilitating. Now, Jonathan will be able to do things later on to stage down the complication. But because the complication starts at a D12, it actually has to be staged down twice before it's eliminated, because it goes from a D6 down to a D4 and then gone. So even an initial complication is going to be around for a little bit.
I'm fine with that.
And so your complication is you're nervous as hell.
I'm okay.
You got some. This has gone or what's called this has gone sideways. How's that?
No, that's fine because my personality element is steady, so nervous is kind of a weird one.
Yeah. So this has gone sideways. Hydrate.
I can handle going sideways.
All right, so let's do this. Before we do the next portion of the scene, it is actually 9:55. It's almost 10 o'clock. Let's go ahead and do a 10-minute break. And when we go on this 10-minute break, I'm going to start the raffle. So let me go ahead and bring that up real fast. Now, the way this works, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to put out a command in chat right now. And for the next 20 minutes, if you want to enter the raffle, you type !tower. And when we come back, when the 20 minutes ends and the raffle ends, we're going to total up all the points that everyone has. Now, if you are a subscriber, you get double points. So you get 2 points for the entry. And we will keep this as a running total. And at the end of the month, we're going to do a giveaway for this tower. This is a 3D printed tower I have right over there. I'll show it to you when I come back from break. And we're going to be giving it away to one winner at the end of the month. Now, you can only enter by watching the show. And these raffles happen randomly during the show. And the more shows you watch, the more tickets you can get. And every single ticket is an entry into the raffle. So, like I said, subscribers get double tickets. Everyone else, you have to follow, but followers get tickets. And once January 31st hits, we're going to do the giveaway. That's going to be on our Emerald Sanctum show on the 31st of this month. We're going to be giving away this 3D printed tower. So, in the meantime, we're going to take a 10-minute break. It's 9:57 right now, Central Standard Time. We're going to come back at 10:07, and we will see you back here in 30.
Hey, doesn't be happy to name the Neko bit again.
Emotional damage, ladies and gentlemen. That's the song they sing. All right. Hi, everybody. We're back. Okay, so as we said, the giveaway is going to be going on for just a little bit longer. Let me see how much longer we got on it. We got... What are you doing, you psycho? Sorry. My cat ran up the door frame.
Must be talking to a cat?
Yeah, she ran up the door frame. She was hanging on the door frame.
Wow.
Sounds right.
Yep.
I've got two cats. I understand.
So we're going to give the the timer says 13 minutes left. So in 13 minutes, this contest will be closed. Remember, all you have to do is type in !tower, and you will be entered to get 1 ticket if you're a follower, 2 tickets if you're a subscriber. So, but remember, as always, the more shows you're here for, the more shows you watch, the more shows you catch when we do the random giveaway, you will get more tickets. And the more tickets you get gives you more chances to win at the end of the month. So, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and ignore the timer for now, even though I'm going to take it off the screen because I'm ADHD and there's something moving, so I have to watch it.
Mood.
So, okay, I just read the game chat and I'm never reading it again.
Oh, this
It's
is
fine.
nothing.
It's fine.
Just wait until we get into gift wars while you're
Oh, I
doing
was
the scene.
just marveling at the fact that, you know, Corey is getting ads for Nair apparently.
Do I look like I nair anything?
Did you say apparently or obviously? Because Corey seems like the target demographic to me. Like everything Nair ever wanted in a customer is Corey.
Yep.
That's right.
I could be a miracle story.
Plenty O'Hare. That's all we're gonna say. Right.
They are doing like market research right now about how they can get customers like Corey to be lifelong customers tomorrow.
I'm so glad I don't get ads.
If you didn't use our product before, here, you want to use it, right?
They're like, one ad on Twitch, and we'll get it for life.
Look, Corey, next time, instead of shaving your head, you just nair.
No.
Oh, come on. That would be so much easier.
I really like the methodical nature of slicking my head with a razor. It's just very nice. It's very therapeutic.
You sure you don't want to do it like you're dyeing your head?
He already dyed his beard once, and that went really well.
Oh.
It actually did. I loved it. It was great.
See, I don't have to dye my beard because I have natural black hair, but my beard is red because I have that recessive gene that almost every Irishman has.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mine's just going gray here now, which is wonderful.
I know. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so distinctive.
Get that salt and pepper.
It's been coming in since I was 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but at least I'm 50 now, so it's earned.
And I'm only 30, Ray.
Dun dun dun. Hey, you know what? I get to go first.
I'll be 30 in a week.
You give 30 in a week. It's the week of your birthday.
It is.
All
Literally 1 week from today, I will be 30 on the 27th.
Let's turn on the tension music and make Jonathan roll stuff.
Oh, I get to roll stuff? I like rolling stuff.
Okay.
All right,
Holy
Ray.
shit. Jonathan,
I do have a question before we move past. Oh no, I was trying to see if I could get it to do the keep the two highest the command, but it doesn't work when you've got plus signs between it that I can find so far.
So there is I'll talk to you about it after the game. I found a thing for this game, but it didn't work. So anyway, so you beat my roll. You do have the complication, like I said, things have gone sideways. But you do notice that right as you're getting ready to shut communications down, your co-pilot, you see him, he's typing in the navigation point, the location points, and into the navigation system for the landing point that you're supposed to be going to, and at right when he sends when he hits enter on that to put it into the machine, and this is right as you're shutting off the comm system, another tight band transmission goes out.
Encoded as well?
Yep.
Same frequency, same destination?
Yep.
All right. It's everything I ever wanted in a co-pilot. I will, as I finish turning communications off,
Yep.
I will send a little message to the general, and it will just say, I recommend you retrieve the files and start wiping drives. We're gonna have a hard landing, I'm sure.
So you you hear the general in the back sitting in the jump seat behind you, and you just hear him just sigh, this deep, resigned. And as you're sitting there, you guys are coming in, following the flight plan, and right as you're coming in, you break Atmo. You're coming into the planet. You can see that the Alliance battle groups that are flying for patrols, and you came in on the backside of the planet to try and avoid them. And the plan is to come in low to try and avoid detection. But the moment you break Atmo and you start diving down for the surface, you already see 2 Alliance gunboats that are headed in your direction. And you begin trying to do map of the Earth, which means you're only a couple 100 feet off the ground, and you're flying it, but you're in this shuttle, and they're in your ship, I should say, and they're in actual combat ships. So before too long, you're streaking up on the destination, but the gunboats are on you in no time flat. And just as you come over the crest of the hill to the Serenity Valley, 2 rockets come off of the gunboats and impact right into the engines of the ship, and the ship is just dropping like a fucking stone. And you're trying to get control of it. You're trying to keep control of the ship as the ship is coming around. So, Corey, your character's sitting there, and you're in the middle of this firefight. You're doing everything you can to keep your shit together and keep patching people up, but you're just fucking constantly looking for an edge out, a way out. Right about then, there's a huge explosion off to your left, and you look over to the left and you see a dog that has been hit by apparently an RPG fire. And that dog is and it was loaded down with ammunition. The explosion was huge. And you see that there's a whole bunch of browncoats that have come up, and they're firing on a squad that they basically have flanked. And as they're moving forward, firing at them, they see you and your corpsman with your little medical bivouac in the back of the area, and they're one of them nods to the other, and they start moving towards you. Just as they do that, one of them looks down and is like, and you can see him, you can hear him from there. He's like, "We got a live one." And right as that happens, a ship comes screeching out of the sky, barely 80 feet over the ground, both engines trailing black smoke as it screeches down into literally the front lines, slams into the ground and digs a huge furrow through the ground and comes to a stop. Right as that is happening, Kel, you guys, your squad is given the order to begin shelling, and right as that comes down, your CO comes. The squad you're with is ordered to begin shelling, and your CO comes up to you guys and it says, "We're the nearest ones. An Browncoat ship was just taken down. that has a key member of command in it. You're going to go get him. He is to come back alive. And you saw the ship come down.
Yeah.
So, Lissa.
Hi. I heard shelling, so I unmuted my mic.
You came down to the planet, and you basically, you use your credentials to get past the blockade with the intent of getting your parents off planet.
Yep.
That didn't go so good. Basically, your family doesn't want to go off planet unless they can take as many people as possible. So they spent the majority of the day trying to round up their neighbors and their friends to get them on the ship. Right about midday, you see the town of Serenity just get pummeled with airstrikes and artillery fire. Your parents...
I thought they'd already destroyed that.
No, they had been in the process of doing so. Your parents are, freaking out. They get everyone on the ship, and they want to take the ship and go look for survivors in the town.
Of course they do.
Do you try and argue with them talk them out of it?
I try to talk them out of it.
Okay. So as you sit there and you try and you start talking to them and try and talk them down from it, your parents are, they're holding out, but a lot of the other people who are on the ship with you begin saying, no, we have to go. And
I told them we would be here for a certain amount of time just to get you guys out, all of you. She's like pointing to like the neighbors and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go before they start shelling further than that.
And your father finally decided, he was like, fine, I'll go start the pre-flight. He says you make sure there's no one else coming. Make sure we don't have anyone else waiting, coming up the road or anything.
She gets on the, short range radio kind of thing. Any civilians that are trying to evacuate, please go to the Redfield Ranch. We are trying to get civvies off world.
As you're kicking that in, if you click that on, you get a response almost instantly. And the response is basically, Redfield, you have no clearance to remove anyone other than the designee owners of the ranch. If you attempt to take any of the other hostiles off planet, you will be fired upon.
Understood.
Your mom is standing there beside you, and she says, what are we supposed to do? We can't throw these people off the ship. And the hull is like full of people. There's like 20 people on the ship.
We have to at least try.
She kind of looks at you, and she's like at this horrifically shocked look on her face. And she's like, what do you mean we have to try?
We have to... Are you going to tell our neighbors and family and friends that they can't come with?
No, are you saying we have to try and get them off planet? I thought you were trying to say we had to throw them off the ship.
No.
Oh, thank God. It was confusing for a minute. I'm sorry, this is very stressful.
Why do you think I came and got you guys?
I mean, I hope it's because you loved us.
Well, obviously, Mom.
All right. And you hear from outside the ship. And the ramp's still down. The cargo ramp's still down. You hear some people yelling. And as you look down the ramp, you can see that there is what looks to be a couple. They're coming up the road, and one of them is trying to help the other as much as they can. They're trying to run, but one of them looks badly hurt, and they're kind of almost hanging off the other. And they're yelling and waving at the ship as they're coming up the ramp. Your mom's like, she looks around and she says, I'll go help them. She says, you just help everything get set up, all right? Just help your father get everything ready to go. And your mom goes running down the ramp. You go up and you're starting to get everything set. You're starting to get people secure, making sure that everyone's getting strapped to the seats that can, giving people instructions on how to brace themselves for the ones who can't get jump seats because there's not enough seating in this. Oh
yeah, definitely
not.
It's an old Firefly class.
Yeah, you're literally getting straps out of the cargo straps out of the hold and having people like tie themselves and strap themselves down to the decking and shit. So as
hold on to the weaving of some of the cargo that happens to actually be in the ship.
Yep.
This is already strapped down. It's not the best thing in the world, but it'll do in a pinch.
So, I didn't know that Underworld Love raided us. Must have happened during a break. Thank you so much for the raid. I apologize for not being here. We were on break. I'm sorry.
We had a raid?
Yeah.
Oh, raiders.
Overlord raided us with a party of 10. Hi, Overlord. I hope you're still here. Sorry you came in on our break. But anyway, so you're sitting there, you're sitting there trying to get everyone set up. You come walking down the ramp. Again, once you look for your mom, you see her. They're helping this woman, and your mom are helping them. The gentleman between them is, he's got one look hurt. And as you see them, they're like they're limping and trying to drag him up to the thing. They're still about 100 yards away. But as you see them coming up, you see 3 or 4 Alliance gunships banking around over Serenity, and they're coming. They're coming in low and fast, and as you watch them come, you start you realize you know what's happening, and what are you going to do?
She yells out to her mom, "Hurry up! We've got to get everyone off now!"
So your mom says, your mom says, everyone's like, what do you mean we got to get off the ship? And
No. Not off the ship. We need to get out. We need to get off world now.
Oh, your dad says, your dad comes over the comms. He's like, I'm ready to pull. He's like, is everyone on board?
Mom's not on yet. And she's replying in the...
Yeah. He's like, well, get her ass on here. And he's like, I've got 3 blips on the screen. They're coming in way too fast.
She runs out the ship to try and get the people on board.
So as you run out the ship, your mom's still trying to help the guy move along. The other woman looks over her shoulder, and her eyes get huge, and you're running up towards them, and you just see the muzzle fire as the 3 gunships just open up, and the shells that are coming down are so big that the plumes of earth that come off the ground blank out everything behind it. You can't see anything. So as you're walking towards them, those shells come ripping up the ground behind, or you're running towards them, those shells come ripping up behind them. You manage to basically throw yourself down and cover your head as the world around you just kind of explodes. Yeah. And you're sitting and you're coughing. You can barely breathe. There was also, you're also basically kind of thrown forward too. as there
That's
is
what these are for.
as there is a huge explosion behind you. And you're laying in the dirt, you're kind of pulling yourself up, you're covered in dirt and everything like that. You can't see, you look where your mother was running with the other two people, and you can't see anyone.
Did this shell directly hit my mom?
There's no, you hope so, because there's nothing left. And then you turn around, and the ship has been cored. You can see the cockpit is laying on the ground. Both the engines are blown completely off. The hold has been ripped apart, and there are bodies everywhere.
Does it look like anyone survived?
Doesn't look like it, but also the ship was fueled up, and all that fuel's now everywhere, so it's just a burning inferno.
I am now that meme of the dog sitting in the burning room. Everything's fine. It's fine.
And you see those gunships peel off and come back around. And as they come back around, they strafe the ship again.
Just in case anyone was still alive.
You basically managed to pull yourself up. And there's nothing you can do.
She stumbles back to the ranch and finds a fucking horse. and tries to go find other means to get off planet.
All right. You start riding. There's nothing left of the town. The only other place you're gonna find anything is probably with the browncoats.
Yeah, she's gonna go to the browncoats then.
All right. So you start heading that way. So the rest of you. Don't look at me. She wrote the backstory. I just played it.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Az's response in chat.
Yes,
I mean,
Now
not
we begin.
wrong.
I know,
Now we begin the anime revenge art.
because it's funny.
I need to give you a 5-foot long, 3-foot wide sword.
All I'm gonna say is I direct you to the cast chat and Discord for what I put.
Oh, really?
Wait, here we go.
Here we go.
There you go.
We have the horse next to the sword. We'll get you some background music.
I'm already in like the Star Wars tunic. I didn't want to wear the corset, so I was like, she'd be in comfy clothes right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's next on the trauma list?
I'm gonna say there's 3 of us, all very close together. and the
4
fourth-
technically.
4 fairly close together. Who
So-
wants to go first?
There's drama, mama.
Those goes.
So let's go back to Jonathan, actually. So the ship buries itself in the earth. Without any engines, this thing flies like a brick. But with the adjustment thrusters, you manage to keep it stable enough to keep the cockpit from just impacting directly into the ground and turning you all into fucking cat food.
So what you're saying is the power steering went out.
Yeah, the
'Cause
power
the
steering.
alternator, not the alternator, the belt slipped.
The belt slipped. The power steering pump exploded, actually. And so you basically got the ship up enough to where you kept the deck, the cockpit from being smashed into the dirt. But the landing is, fucking insanely hard. You're knocked out for a few minutes. When you come to, the general is no longer in his seat, and the co-pilot is missing as well.
Any of the ship sensors working?
No, you have no power.
Okay. From the cockpit, look out and see if I see people outside the ship.
You are pretty fucking close to the lines. There's Alliance troopers, there's browncoats. They're actually fighting, intense fighting, but they're not. They're obviously they saw the ship, but because of the intensity of the firefight everyone's involved with right now, they're not actively coming towards the ship at this point. The only ones that seem to be really close enough to do anything is there is a group of Alliance troopers and a small contingent of browncoats, like only like 3 or 4 guys, and the Alliance troopers are looking in that direction, but they're not seem to be moving out too much. And as
ship tilted more to one side than the other, or is it pretty like level in the crash?
Fairly level.
Okay. I am going to grab my go bag, exit the cockpit, start going down the main staircase, get myself down to the 3rd level, exit the staircase, and start heading towards the airlock door.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can get the airlock door open, it'll be my fastest way off the ship, instead of having to try to go all the way down and then find my way off the main doors.
So the airlock door is sitting open.
Oh, is there a rope or anything so that we can get down the last 2 levels?
No, remember the ship is kind of sort of buried in the dirt.
Oh, good. So it's closer to the ground.
Yes.
Okay, look around. Do I see either the general or my co-pilot?
You see the co-pilot is up, like he's getting ready to go around the ship, and he's got his pistol out, and he seems to be pointing it at someone in front of him.
Pointing it at somebody in front of him.
Yeah, who's around the corner.
You know what? I don't like the cut of that jib. I would like to just go ahead and pull my gun and take a shot while I'm right here, right now.
All right.
And I would love to make this a high stakes roll. I'm shooting for the head.
Shit.
Oh.
All right, so
Great
that
roll.
basically means that if you make the roll, you hit him in the head and kill him outright. If you don't make the roll, then
I'm in trouble. Lots and lots of trouble.
You completely miss and tell him exactly where you are.
And I'm taken out.
Yeah, and something bad happens to you.
Very bad, yeah.
I was like, Jonathan doing the whole go big or go home right now.
I will be using my hotshot distinction for this one because I feel like that is exactly what I'm doing right now.
Gotcha. All right.
I will be going steady on this shot as well.
Okay.
So I will be using my physical, my D8 for my distinction, my D6 from shoot, and I am almost 100% positive I will be dropping a plot point on this at least.
Oh, and Jessica redeemed lend a hand, so you may add +1 to one of your high dice.
Okay.
I just realized the command that gives you bless, technically in this game. Oh shit.
Yeah, you got a 1 on there.
All right.
Oh.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay, so
I will be dropping my plot point real quick.
okay.
And I will be using my distinction. So that is currently a 17.
All right. So I've got a total of a 10. I will buy the complication from you. And I will give you the complication of obvious target.
Cool. I'm sliding down the side of this so I can see who he was pointing the gun at.
Oh, you still hit him, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm going over to where he was now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm heading that direction.
And you go around the side of the building. As you're coming back around from the other side is the general. And his arm is kind of hanging uselessly at his side. You know, you're pretty sure that his shoulder is completely dislocated because it doesn't look right. And he's kind of like obviously sweating in pain. And he kind of sees you coming. And he says, well, that must mean you're not the traitor.
I told you who the traitor was. I sent you the command console that the message came from.
He says, I know that it was a joke, son. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Did you get your go bag?
He's like, do you think you let me have a go bag? But his go bag is laying on the ground.
Did you get the stuff off the ship we needed or wipe anything like I warned you about?
He says, I started the process and then we crashed.
Well, if you started the process, it should have at least... Wait, you started the process to wipe it or you have the copy?
No, I wiped everything. I didn't have time to get a copy.
Okay, well, that's at least something. Let's go.
Exactly.
Look around.
Mm-hmm.
Which direction were the brown coats and which direction are the Alliance?
That Alliance group is actually between you and the brown coats. And as you look up there, you see that now that you actually can spend some serious time looking up there, that the Alliance are now they're one of them is pointing his rifle at the group of three Alliance, and then the other one is pointing his rifle down at someone on the ground. And the one who's pointing his rifle down at someone on the ground, you see he brings up his comm, and he's yelling into his comm. He's like, "We've got the brown coats crew here." He's like, "We need reinforcements here." Kel, you guys are like basically riding down the hill in a pretty much a mule. It's a military mule, and your squad intercepts the comm, and it's another Blue Belly squad, and they say they've captured the flight crew.
All right.
So you start heading that way.
Yeah, we're gonna head that way, and pretty much just on the radio, I just mentioned just keep them there. We're coming to grab them.
He's like, and they're like, we're caught in a crossfire.
I'm gonna
then find cover.
So the Alliance, Jonathan, you see the Alliance guys, instead of like opening fire, they just dive into a foxhole.
That's gonna work out great. Toss this guy's go bag to the general, and then pat him down as quickly as I can. I'm looking to see if he's got like a communicator on him, and as the general check the bag, there's probably some sort of communicator somewhere.
He's sitting there looking for the bag. Corey, you guys, you see the two Alliance troopers dive for cover. You can see further down the hill where the ship is. You see two guys coming out of the ship. One guy, actually technically you see two guys come out of the ship and start moving to the front of it like they're moving around it. And then you see a third guy come out of the ship and shoot one of the two guys in the head.
Noted.
and then the Alliance guys dive for cover. Your guys are like holding guns up, looking at you like, what do we do, sir?
Do either of them have a grenade on them?
Do they have a grenade on them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That I can see and reach.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to try. Do they both have one? Because that will be even more convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to, as fluidly as possible, tell them to put their hands up and then pull a pin on a grenade on each of them and try and get back. I am trying to leave this situation in a manner that does not get me killed. I don't care what happens to them. As nice as they both seem, I have to leave this place, and I am officially deserting the Alliance. I have to go. I cannot do this. And I know, as stupid as they both seem, They're gonna die anyway. This will be faster.
My
This will
God.
be
You're a
faster.
horrible human being, sir.
So much for
He is.
so
he
much
is
for
very-
Hippocratic oath.
He is very broken. He is very broken.
All right. So
okay.
you're gonna have to create a dice pool for me. First off, you're gonna be using your physical.
Okay. perfect.
You're gonna be what skill do you think would pertain to this?
Okay, fight is what I'm thinking because technically this is aggressive action.
I think that is good.
And I am a veteran in the Unification War, which means I have fighting type, where I can spend 1 plot point to step up or double my shoot or fight when I'm outnumbered. And I am currently outnumbered because I have the entire military of the entire forces of 2 militaries that I am not with currently.
Okay.
So I would say I'm more than well outnumbered.
All right,
That fair?
that's fair.
Okay. So that's going to be a
The simple fact that there's 2
D10.
guys in front of you and you're 1 guy makes you outnumbered.
Mhm. And the fact that there are also other people that would openly shoot at me right now.
Right.
So it's going to be oh wow, 2d10s. And just to clarify, a d8 for
Distinction.
the distinction I'm using.
Yes.
And
And you're
I can
spending a plot
either.
point if you want to.
Yes, I am. To either step up 1 or double. I think I'm going to double my fight, which is a d10, so that ends up being 3 d10 and a d8.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you still only get to keep 2.
Yes, of course. Trying to better my odds here.
Yes.
Okay. So am
Feel
I
free.
setting this one up, or you are?
I'm gonna roll your TN.
Okay.
I always roll the TN. So.
Okay.
So shit. I'm going to spend one of my plot points to keep an extra dice.
Saw that coming.
I have an equal number of plot points to how many of you there are,
Mhm.
and I have 1 extra plot point because Jonathan gave me a complication. So this is now a 12.
12. Okay.
Yes.
You got this, man.
I
Two
rolled
highest.
fucking horribly.
Good.
Good. Why isn't anyone ever on my
Right.
side?
Ray, it sounds like you have my luck when I'm DMing.
I mean, right.
You know
right,
how many nat ones that
Oh.
imploded in the nat ones I had at Gen Con?
Ray, I gave you a +1 yesterday, remember?
Yes, I know. What'd
Okay.
you say?
So, is there a? I'm trying to see. I have a reroll 1 on something here, but I don't think it's that. Yeah, it's not that.
Okay.
Okay.
So did you roll 1s?
I did roll a single 1.
I will buy that.
You'll
Which
buy
means
that?
You now have a complication. 1s
Okay.
never count towards your total, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
But I will buy that because you get a plot point, and
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a complication.
Okay.
The complication is hunted man.
Okay.
So
That-
you
That
are
ties perfectly.
yeah, you are putting but what is your total then? You take your 2 highest dice and you add them together.
It was a 12 exactly.
12. So
And I want to say that makes you the winner on this one. I
no,
forget. For this
no,
system.
I set the
Oh.
TN. The TN
Okay,
is a 12.
okay.
Now here's the thing. That meets it, which means you've done what you wanted to do.
Mhm.
If you want to do anything special, you can spend a plot point to keep another dice to add it to the total. Because you had a bunch of dice in your dice pool. But you
Yeah.
have successfully done what you wanted to do.
Did you buy? I mean, did you have a dice that rolled a 5 or higher that you didn't buy?
Yes, my D8 for my distinction was a 5, and my D10 was a 7.
These are mooks. If you beat them by 5, you take both of them out.
Oh no! No! I have a 12 using my 5 and my 7. My other 2 rolls were a 1 and a 2.
Oh,
Oh.
never mind.
Yeah. No.
Never mind.
No.
Yeah, no,
No,
Jonathan
no,
was
no.
trying to see about possibly giving
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
a big damn hero die.
Yep.
I see what he was going for.
Yep.
I don't see my
Okay.
2 helping
That-
much,
Nope.
but yeah, I'll keep the hero point or the plot point for right now.
You got it.
But yeah, just want to literally
So you
tell
go
them to put their
to
hand- Mhm.
You go to jerk the pins.
Mhm.
Your buddy, Private
Johnson?
Private Johnson. He's looking at he's looking at you and he's like, "What do we do, sir?" And you like reach out.
I say, put your hands up, fellas, and then pull both pins.
He goes
Yeah.
like, "What? Put my hands up." He's putting his hands up, and you jerk the pin out of his, and you reach for the big guy's grenade, and you just miss the ring.
Ooh.
And he kind of looks around, and the big guy dives one way, and you dive the other, and Johnson is red mist.
That's fine. I am now away from the big guy. And I hit the ground, but immediately I'm running into whatever rubble is nearby.
All right.
Yeah.
So you hear and see the big guy, going yelling, and he says like, "He's a traitor! Shoot him!" At the same time, Liz, you're riding in this direction. You can hear the firefights. You see a downed ship. You don't know what state it's in, but it's a ship. It's got smoke coming off of it, so you start riding towards it. And plus, it's also cover. So as you get to the ship, and you get off the horse and try and start walking up to the ship, you hear, "He's a traitor, shoot him." And you hear the sound of what sounds like a transport coming this way. And as the transport's coming that way, as you see kind of moving around the ship to see what's going on, Kel, your transport comes rolling down.
Yep.
Or hovering down. You see this standoff happening. You see that one guy just explode. You see one of an Alliance trooper running pell-mell as you see the two other Alliance troopers stand up out of a foxhole and draw beads. And you see another Alliance trooper, huge ox of a man, stands up and draws a bead on the gentleman running.
Yeah.
And you basically are like your transport pull up and your men are starting to dive out.
Yeah.
And right then, the entire world starts erupting in bright light as shells begin raining down around you.
Oh shit.
And
Okay, so Mariana is going to ride toward the person that they said is a traitor to try and save them. So, Corey.
Oh, mind you, I'm also stripping off my uniform down to like the vest and what I am wearing underneath. As
I'm
going,
assuming I see this.
my gun
because,
ripping stuff off and just booking.
Obviously right now she's not very alliance oriented.
Yep. So your troopers are piling out of the vehicle. Oz,
Yeah.
what is she doing?
So
They're not even paying attention to her anymore.
Oh yeah, no, like
Definitely a distraction.
Nathan is just like, okay, alright, this is how we're getting out of this. Starts to kind of crawl away. And you said shells start raining down. From where?
There's only one side that has ordnance right now.
I built those ships. I fixed those guns.
And literally, you see that the shells are hitting the entire line indiscriminately.
Nathan does the exact same thing. Just, nope, uniform off. Nope.
So
No, I'm done with this, Goram. Fucking, no. I'm done.
You basically-
I'm done.
you roll out of the foxhole, and you're not even thinking about the guys behind you anymore. You're just like trying to run pell-mell, and you get sent flying through the air as a shell lands in the foxhole those two guys were just standing in.
There was a ship? Or, yeah, Nathan's
It's down-
running towards that ship. Yeah,
Well,
no.
actually, technically, right now you're doing the human equivalent of learning to fly
Yeah.
as you're
That was correct.
as you're pinwheeling through the air.
Yep.
I was gonna say, because I'm assuming everyone's out of the mule at this point except for myself.
Yeah. No, you're out of the mule too.
Oh, I was gonna say because at this point, especially all the shells come down, Mitchell's thinking this is his best chance to essentially disappear since they're onto him. He's gonna take the mule and essentially start driving toward the brown coats. Like he grabs his dog tags.
Hold that thought for a second.
Yep.
You pile out of the vehicle with your troops.
Yeah.
The mule fucking starts driving off pell-mell up the hill.
Oh fuck! It was automated.
Because remember, the mule mule has a driver who is not part of your unit. He's from the pool. He's from the transport pool, and he wants the fuck out.
Goddamn motor pool bastards.
So he is hauling ass.
Okay.
So your unit is basically ditched there.
Alright, so let me rethink what I was going to do there. Damn it.
Well, actually, let's do this. It is coming up at 11 o'clock, and I know that Oz has a hard cutoff.
Yep.
So
I'm being summoned.
You're being summoned.
Yeah.
So let's go and do this. We're going to go ahead and take this up in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Where we're going to take up from this point. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight to Oz and let her get out of here so she can go jump to the other game. And Oz, message me on Discord, because if you're already in if the game's already running, we'll just raid you guys.
Okay, yeah, it's already going. They've been going for a bit, so I will see you all later. Thank you.
See you in a couple of minutes. Thank you, Oz. So, in the meantime, everyone, thank you very much for being in tonight. This has been Dinner and a Game with our new Firefly campaign. And we are going to be continuing this every 2 weeks. And Ivy Shadow, who is Game Raider Girl, she is going to be doing the alternate game on the alternate Friday nights. And from what I understand, from the way she described it, it is going to be a D&D 5e game, but it's going to be based off the concepts of Suicide Squad. So it's going to be a very interesting time had by all. And what we're going to do after that is, or after this I should say, is we're going to go raid, and we're going to go actually raid the Figment Collective because they are nice enough to lend us Oz. So we're going to go raid them in kind. Now, just to go over it one more time, Kel, where can folks find you on the World Wide Webs?
So whether it's here on Twitch or on TikTok, you can find me under the name Celtic Wyvern King. Again, I do have my Twitch schedule posted on there. Hopefully I'll be able to start streaming regularly again because I'm finally fully staffed. I got the last person training this week. And as of right now, I haven't been getting phone calls from work. Hallelujah.
People are actually competent. What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, it's not that. They're actually taking to my training. Anyway. But also, I'm going to try to do more on TikTok because, like, I've already put out a good number of. Well, I made a good number of drafts, put out a few videos for my character of Mitchell for this show. Gotcha. So, and hopefully, we'll see some more duets from the others too as we all start getting more into our character, like figure out more of how our characters relate depending on the videos.
Gotcha. All right, excellent. Thank you very much. And Corey, where can people find you on the World Wide Webs?
You can find me on TikTok at the Hipster Viking. I'm working on some other social media stuff, but currently that's where I'm at.
Gotcha. And Lissa?
So you can find me anywhere with buttons as Geek Girl Lissa. You can also find me Mondays on Nerdworks Media here on Twitch. I play a Soul Knife Rogue Trickster Cleric Changeling there on Monday nights. Of course, I'm playing a Changeling. And the other one is on Tuesdays. You can find me on twitch.tv/Dead Society, playing a Tiefling College of Whispers bard. Wow, I realized my D&D characters on stream give away that I am queer.
I mean,
anyway.
That's kind of most of everyone's characters this one. They give away some identity of themselves.
But and then on Thursday nights, you can usually find me on the YouTube channel Aries Studios for a show called Two Geek Girls. Saturday nights, I am behind the scenes running a show called Starfleet Tactical, and then every other night that I'm not doing a TTRPG stream, I am on my Twitch channel here on Twitch playing a variety of different video games.
Yep. And I've watched those streams, and they are usually just chaos.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's.
Can
Did you
confirm.
watch me playing Arkham Knight?
No, I saw you were playing it, but then I couldn't work with being fucking stupid.
So the PC port has a glitch,
Mhm.
a really bad glitch, that is like literally game breaking for some sections. Because when you are driving the Batmobile, if you go too fast, you fall through the floor.
Out of the
And
car?
there-
Cyberpunk.
Wait, you fall out of the car?
No. The entire Batmobile goes through the ground.
Oh!
That's not a glitch. Somehow Batman put the Speed Force inside the Batmobile.
And there are literally sections of the game that are entirely chasing. And so I have moved on to Kingdom Hearts 3 for right now and Monster Hunter.
Excellent. So, folks, what we're going to be doing from... oh, I forgot that message is still going. I apologize. We're not doing the raffle right now. I was supposed to turn that message off, and I forgot to. What we're going to do now is we're going to go give a raid to our amazing friend Az and her channel that they're playing Changeling the Lost, which is the new edition of Changeling from World of Darkness.
World of Darkness?
Yes, and it is very different from the old version of Changeling. We may be starting up a campaign of it here as well, and so it is. If you've ever played the original Changeling, this is not your daddy's Changeling. This is.
Well, it's my understanding that World of Darkness has been entirely changed because of the fact that White Wolf went under.
Yeah.
So like they're porting out the game as
Who has World of Darkness? Who has World of Darkness?
So they have a parent company, but like the
Paradox Studios.
Yeah, so
Paradox or
basically
Paragon?
I think it's Paragon, but anyways, doesn't matter. Honestly, like basically they're licensing the games out. So the system and everything through each of the games can be entirely different. Like entirely different.
It gets one step more complicated because they basically sub-licensed all of the old stuff to Onk's Path Studios, who's doing like all of the original World of Darkness stuff and running with that. So like you simultaneously have one group that's trying to do their newer stuff and another group that's trying to publish and do all their older stuff.
Yep.
And all of it, like they have like obviously like Vampire the Masquerade is its own thing, but like VTM is apparently also very different 5e versus the original.
But Jonathan and I know we played the 5e version, and they made some really big improvements. Like
I enjoy the dice pools as a Toreador when I'm doing anything that's like charisma based, basically.
Yeah.
At one point, I had 15 D8. No, it was D10.
D10. They're D10.
God
D10.
damn.
I had 15 D10, and I'm like.
At that point, you're playing Exalted.
Well,
yeah,
that's true. But the big thing about the 5e system is that they actually found a way to eliminate one of the biggest problems with Vampire, which is trying to get vampires to fucking work together for a reason. Because, if anyone's ever played any Vampire, 99% of the time, everyone is just trying to figure out how to fuck each other over. That is 90% of the game.
Are you talking about like the individuals or between the clans?
Individuals,
Yes.
players.
Okay.
You're just trying. It's a power struggle. That's all it ever is. And everyone's trying to come out on top. And even though you're supposed to form coteries, which are a group of vampires that are supposed to work together, in the original games there's no onus for the players to actually try and do that and work together.
The easiest way I've ever had anybody try to explain the concept so people get it really fast is, imagine you work at a corporation, but nobody ever dies and they never retire unless something unnatural kills them, but you're still at the company. So you have no opportunities for advancement, pay raises, or improvements unless you can finagle like tricking somebody into losing their job, getting demoted, or you can like find a way to have them get killed so that there's a vacancy for people to start getting promoted up.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because
It's-
I've been meaning to
Yeah.
get to VTM because someone put a quiz in another Discord server. So I take it like it's like what essentially clan you're from,
Mhm.
and this is me going in completely blind to how this is. But I think it's bot. Start with an S. I don't know how to spell it.
I actually could have seen that got Bruja, not Toreador, and I'm like, how the fuck did the Bard? Like the quintessential Bard.
Thank you for the
Get
sub,
fucking
Cordy.
Bruja.
Well, Bruja can be
Hey,
warrior poets.
Corey.
Can
That's
be
one of my
what?
coworkers.
Bruja can also be warrior poets. You've got like
Yep.
the dumb meatheads, but you also have the warrior poets.
The true
Yeah.
iconoclasts.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've gotten way off the subject.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, remember a dinner game, we always save you a seat at the table. Please be careful. If you're going out, socially distance, make sure you wear a mask. There's always going to be another fucking surge. This is our lives now. And we want you to come back every single time and be able to enjoy the show with us. And to do that, we need you to be healthy and happy and want to come back and not feel like you're drowning in your own lungs. So, do what you can to be careful and take care of yourselves. And we are going to go see. Let me get this up here real quick.
Also, when we get there, guys, please refresh the page.
Yes.
Like, click on the name, or if you're on, internet,
If you're on,
remove the raid portion. Because Amazon Twitch decides that it does not like to count raid views the same way it does regular views.
here's the easiest way to do it. When we get there, just hit F5 after about 5 minutes. That will refresh your browser, and you'll be a new view. All right. So we're gonna go hit the Figment Collective up. These guys are excellent. There we have Oz here. Oh, we have M. Is she playing that? Yeah, M's here. M is on our Tuesday show. They're amazing, and they're going to be doing more stuff with us, and we love them. And we hope that you guys enjoy the show and have a great time. And we will see you in 2 weeks. And tomorrow morning, remember, we have Monster Hearts 2, the Spicy World, and it's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you. I didn't do it. M did it. She's small and scary, so I can't do anything about it.
I mean, I laugh, but I'm not going to argue that point.
All right, let's go give them a raid, guys.
Honestly, I am also small and scary, so M doesn't scare me personally. I love her very dearly.
Wait. Can we get you guys to fight?
I mean, we're both gonna be at Gen Con, but I'd rather give her hugs and cuddle puddle.
Well, we will see about that later. Now we're gonna go raid them. We love you guys very much, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks and tomorrow.